What's up? What's up? I knew Jules was live, but people that follow me, I think it's a couple of people that follow me and him together, so I don't think I'm going to interfere with his live. And he's talking about gardening, so I don't know. We may not talk about gardening. We may talk about anything here. So let's see if anybody jumps on. I'm just sitting out here enjoying this beautiful weather, rain and storm, and all kinds of fun things. Bugs and more bugs. We'll see if anybody jumps in and wants to chit chat tonight. Nice and dark, peaceful out here. I didn't tell anybody I was going live, so nobody may jump in. But we'll see. I'm not expecting a whole lot. I'll hang out for a while by myself. And if anybody jumps in, then we'll go from there. If not, then I'll just delete it. Delete it. That's what I like. You can delete it. And it's Monday night. May not be anybody out there. Everybody wants to go to bed early tonight. I don't blame them. Don't blame them at all. Bugs. Bug in my ear, bug in my ear. Bugs, bugs everywhere. Yeah, buddy. It's a beautiful night up here on the mountain now. I love the sound of rain on this tin roof up here. Nice and cool. What is it, 68 degrees? Man, nice. Real nice. Nice and chilly. We will see, we will see, we will see. What time is it? 10:03. I'll probably give it to 10:05. See if anybody jumps in. If nobody jumps in, then I'll just say. Well, evidently there's two bored people in the world. There's a bored person. Now I'm talking to myself on my porch. I like talking to myself on my porch. Hey, what's up, Scott? How you doing, brother? And Sylvia, how are you? Yeah, I'm just sitting out here in this beautiful weather, talking to myself, loving life, chilling like a villain. Yeah, Judy, I talk to myself quite a bit. I even answer myself quite a bit. I look weird in a hoodie. How you know I'm wearing a hoodie? This is my work uniform. I'm getting ready to go to work. I get souls for the Reaper after hours. So. Oh man, Scott, your porch is looking good. Your steps and all, your porch is looking real good. The house looks nice. There we go. It wouldn't be me if I didn't freeze up every 15 minutes for 30 seconds, huh? Gotta love the internet. I don't know that song, Judy. I really don't. Chilling like a villain. That's just a saying. I've never known it to be a song. Chilling, chilling, chilling. and we were chilling. Actually swinging, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, I freeze up a lot. Freeze up, freeze out, freeze in, freeze out. But I'd rather freeze than burn. Burn, baby, burn, burn, baby, burn. Yeah. Sitting here looking at lightning bugs and all kinds of cool stuff out here. All these little critters that God made to annoy us. 87 degrees. Well, it's almost backwards here at 68. So just reverse the numbers. Just reverse the numbers. Well, we are in June. So come July, I should start getting the crossbow out and getting that sighted in and practiced up good. Come August and September, get stands ready, and October get ready for the deer slaying, for the deer harvesting. Well, dang on, Scotty. It's good to see you, brother. I'll see you on Facebook. I love you, brother. Thank you for stopping by. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Hey, Eddie, how you doing, brother? You couldn't, I'm guessing you could not sleep? Couldn't sleep? I couldn't sleep. I don't sleep. I don't go to sleep till late. So I figured I'd come on for a little while, see if anybody wanted to come up here and just talk or whatever. Big old moth. Yeah, big moth. Come here, you moth. Come here. See? They go moths. That's why I like bats, because bats eat these little boogers. Yeah. What the heck was that? What a weird sound. Y'all gonna make me sit up here and talk to myself all night? It's not like I'm comical or interesting. I'm just boring. Yeah, well, Sylvia, don't laugh. It could be. We have them around here. That's for sure. We do have them around here. I could have seen my own grandchild. Could have seen. Oh man, that's sad, Judy. That's sad. I'm sorry to hear that. Fold this up a little bit. Fold this up a little bit. Roll it. Roll it. I see you. Hold on a second. I see you down there. I gotta get my mouse going here. Oh, baby.
Oh,
what's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
Well, I do have some good news.
Well, it's better than bad news.
Yeah, it is. It is. Francis says he wants to reconcile. He froze. That's why I'm getting up here, because he freezes on. Francis says he wants to reconcile.
Oh, no, that's awesome. Good. I'm very happy for you.
No more kicking me out and saying I don't want you here no more. And he wants to reconcile, and I'm so happy.
Amen.
I'm happy.
So, amen.
I think we can start out being friends and then work from there. I love him. And that just made me happy today. When he said, I want to reconcile our marriage, I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm happy.
That's good.
Ah,
God is great.
yes, he is. I thank everybody for praying too. I do. I thank everybody for praying. It's been rough. So, oh, I did see your comment on my video that I did this morning.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
I had to
you.
go halfway through it, and so I
Oh,
apologize.
I gotta tell you something. This is really weird. Out of all the videos I have on my YouTube channel, that one now has 104 views.
That is weird.
Well, I think I know what it is. You knew what I was talking about, right?
Yeah.
YouTube is pushing that one because it's part of their, you know,
Oh, the algorithm
no,
agenda, the
bingo.
agenda. Yeah, yeah.
But see, I'm against it. But yet, I'm like, how in the world on my channel, the you know, that's weird. I'm like, why? Let's see how much I got now. Just out of curiosity. 106 views.
I did.
How in the world is that happening when all my other views are very, very low? 2016. You know, the biggest views I have on one video was 37. One's 9, one's 15, one's 16. How on earth is this one video getting that many views? I just don't get it. Hey, Buckeye girl.
How you doing? Well, I tell you what, Sylvia, check this out. I did
What?
some shorts. I've never done shorts before, right?
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, I've got 55 subs. Check. Let me read this to you. The short I did about my first duck hatching.
Uh-huh.
360 views.
Wow. That's a
Big
lot of views.
Big Red, my rooster, the one I did.
Uh-huh.
410.
Oh man.
Oh, look who it is. Oh, it's going to get.
Hey,
It's going
Pastor
to.
Donnie.
It's going to get interesting now.
Hey, Papa Rock.
Hey, how you doing?
Weird. It's the only video that I have, and it's getting so many views. 106 views. I'm like, that's crazy.
Which video?
Donnie, you're
The
funny.
video. Papa loves that stuff. Yeah, he does.
No,
The
I remember
video
that
that
Donnie said, Sylvia, that shift changing giant's coming for you.
did he say that? Yeah, he did, didn't he? I saw it.
He said, just kidding, but that is hilarious. That's
I
funny.
know. It's the live stream that I did this morning on a big giant statue that they're wanting to bring to the United States. It's a shift changer, and it moves its arms and it speaks. And
Papa,
yeah,
not just one. They want to bring it to 21 cities.
yeah,
They
21 cities.
They want to put one in every city. And
right.
they actually have want to build a booth that you can walk into. It scans you and puts you up there as
You
that giant.
are as a giant, yeah. And yeah, you look it up online. It's very true. You know, I don't put stuff up like that unless I know for sure. I dug into it before I even decided to do that video. And but 106 views on that one video. I'm thinking, wow.
Yeah, that's what people want to see, though. You know?
But you saw, like I said, that
He froze. It would be cool if he froze with Bigfoot behind him. I can't just say that.
that comment I made, you know, the first thing I thought of was that the first thing I thought of was Moses coming off Mount Sinai and seeing that golden calf.
Yeah.
You know, that false idol. And who's to say they're not going to use it for that purpose?
That's what I'm thinking. That's why I posted that. I wanted to make that video to tell people, this is not good. This is not of God. Don't follow this.
I found a video on YouTube about it, and they going almost every comment was about it being a false god and people being
Yeah.
mad about it. I mean, there's a lot of people upset about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they leave it on there.
Well, this I didn't hear about it until today, but this actually came. The article actually was written in March of this year. So
Really?
it's been a couple. Yeah, but I didn't hear about it until today from a friend of mine who let me know about it. She called me and said, Sylvia, have you heard about the 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 giant statue of 2021? No. What about it? So I went to look it up. I did a little research, and I said, I think this is something that I need to put and tell people about.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
false
not.
idols.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
It's crazy.
What's for? What's for?
4 days non-smoking.
Oh right, yeah.
I knew what that 4 was for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey Red, how are you?
That just means I don't have to come up there, and he doesn't have to make a dentist appointment.
Don't start, because I'm trying to drink my coffee.
We want to hear you laugh.
You heard what I told him, Sylvia, you heard what I told him, didn't you?
No.
If I catch him smoking, I'm gonna come up there and put my foot so far up his rear end, it's gonna take his dentist to tie my shoe.
Well, you need to come up here and do that with me too, because I'm still smoking.
I'm gonna hit the winning
I'll
field
come
goal.
down here rather, not up here, but down here.
That's why you do it. Just put them down and say the heck with it. Change the routine out. Your daily routine's got a lot to do with it.
That's right.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I know.
right.
If you get up in the morning, drink a cup of coffee, get up in the morning, go wash your hands.
But I understand what you're saying, but I have to be careful because Francis is wanting to reconcile, and I cannot lose my temper with him. And if I quit like that, I will start losing.
Yeah, Sylvia, let me ask you a question,
Francis
Sylvia.
is supposed to stand beside you.
Well, let me ask you a question, Sylvia. Do you like hard candy, mints, or anything like that?
Yeah.
Okay, if you smoke 10 cigarettes a day, smoke 5 a day, and in between, take that one out and just get a hard piece of candy instead of that cigarette.
Yeah.
And like mint or spearmint or whatever your favorite thing is, maybe you like cinnamon or whatever, and use that instead of smoking that cigarette. So then you're down to 5 a day, and then cut it down the next day even more and more. You don't have to cut cold turkey. No. Some people can and some people can't, but wean yourself off of them and replace them with something that's not going to hurt you.
Right.
And so.
And also, Francis is supposed to be there to support you.
He can't. He's very sick. He has stage 4 kidney disease, and Francis is not doing good right now. Papa Rock.
Okay. Well, I didn't know.
That's okay. He's been throwing up here lately, and he hasn't told me this until recently. And I'm thinking, some of the nurses that have seen him said that his face looks yellow, his skin is
jaundice.
Jaundice. Yeah.
Or what is jaundice? Is that your liver?
It makes you yellowish, but it can be caused by a couple of different things, I believe. But it makes you turn yellowish, your skin yellowish.
And he's been throwing up and hasn't relayed that to me until the day before yesterday about it.
And if he's got kidney disease, and I'm not a doctor and I'm not a medical person, but I think what the jaundice is poison getting in your system because they're not being filtered out, whether it be liver or kidneys or anything like that.
Yeah, I know, and that's why I brought in more help, because he's going to have to deal with them, because he doesn't want he has the fistula in his arm. He got that in his arm August of last year. So he has that already ready, but he does not want to do dialysis. Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to do it. And I brought in more in-home health care, and he's going to have to answer to them now. And
Yeah.
you're going to have to fight with him instead of me and him fighting. So,
Red, I dropped the link. You're more than welcome to come up in here. I won't pick on you, I promise.
This is an easy night.
thank you, Pastor Donnie. I still pray for Francis's health.
Yeah, I'll continue to pray also.
He could go tomorrow, and it's hard because my counselor keeps saying, Sylvia, he could go tomorrow, and I just don't want to think about it. I just do not want to think about it. You know,
you don't want to think about something like that happening. No, but it's not in our hands. It's in God's hands.
It is in God's hands, and that's why I needed help, and that's why I called our insurance company and brought in more in-home health care. So he has 4 in-home health care nurses that come for him.
There you go.
So he only had 1, but now he has 4.
Oh, I guess she is. I'm sitting here reading something, and she's there looking at me. All right, well, I'm ignoring you.
Hey, Red, how are you?
Hi. I'm ignoring you.
I'm gonna be good tonight.
What did I lie about, Judy? What did I lie about? Judy says, you lie, Shaky. What did I lie about? Not messing with Red? No, I'm not going to pick on Red. I love my sister, Red.
Oh, God. You know, the other day when I went to the chiropractor, I told him, I said, look, I don't know how to relax. Because I don't. I've never have been able to. I've always been, like, tense. And he gave me these, what?
Huh?
Thank you for killing the spider.
Huh? What?
Travis just killed a spider.
Oh.
Anyways, I bought this stuff from him, and it said two capsules every day for 5 days. Skip 2 days and repeat cycle. Well, I thought take 2 at night and then 2 the next night. I can't do that because this stuff right here, this medicine that he gave me. Yeah, I took 2 last night and I didn't wake up till 1 o'clock this afternoon.
Ooh, I'm on melatonin, but I only take 1 pill.
Talking about relaxing someone.
Yeah. No kidding.
Wait a minute. Now, did you just take the medicine or did you eat one of those Rice Krispie bars with it?
No, I just took 2 medicine.
Okay.
I had to ask. And I'm like, I can't do that again. I mean, the boys actually had to come in and wake me up.
Oh, wow.
You took the snap, crackle, and the pop.
I was asleep like you wouldn't believe. And you know what? He was right. Those really do relax you.
Well, you probably needed it.
All right. Wonderful.
You probably could use that rest. It probably, probably helped you a lot anyway.
Speaking of medicine, you better take mine.
Judy, we're not picking on.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Judy said it before I did. Just take 1.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I learned my lesson last night. I'm only going to take 1. That's all I'm taking. One at noon and 1 at midnight.
What's it called?
It is called Unsprung. Horsetail hops, passion flower, valerian in it. It's herbal medication.
Red, it's a miracle. I wake up every morning anyway, and I'm not going to tell you everything I take. But I'll tell you this: I take 2 muscle relaxers, a 10 milligram Percocet, and a sleeping pill every night before I go to bed.
The thing is, this is a natural relaxant.
Well, that's good. Natural's best.
Yeah, it's not the stuff that you get from the doctors. Because I've been taking melatonin, and it just started to where it wasn't working. Well, I'm not taking melatonin anymore because this stuff really does good.
I'm on melatonin.
This stuff really does good.
I'm on watermelon.
Really
Watermelon.
Yeah, I'm not on melatonin. I'm on watermelon. I like watermelon.
Will it help you sleep?
No, because if I eat too much of it, I gotta get a pee every 5 minutes.
Yeah. Here we go.
I'm glad
her ribs are gonna be hurting her again.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad I didn't have coffee in my mouth when you said that. I would have spit everywhere again. Oh my.
Well, Red did
Country Homestead Preacher probably was what did it, but I'm telling you, this stuff works. I learned my lesson.
Is that what it's called, the Valerian?
Well, one of it is Valerian or a Valerian.
I've never heard of it.
What I got to get next is called, which I don't know if he has it, but I'm going to try to find it. It's called Yellow Root.
Is that the doctor?
heard of that.
Is that the doctor you went to when you went and see Red and mom and dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let me tell you what, that guy really knows his stuff.
Yeah, they say he does.
Yeah.
You're both coughing.
Oh, gracious. Now if I can get this stuff out of my left lung, I can feel it there.
Eddie, there's a leak. If you want to come up, you're more than welcome to.
Are you hurting in your left lung?
No.
I know it would help.
It just feels very heavy.
I know it would help.
What?
If you got a onion in your house, cut it in half. Do not peel it whatsoever. Steam it. Don't boil it. Steam it. Steam that half onion. And when it's real tender, take you a towel, put it where your inflammation is.
It's right up there in my upper lung.
Right, and put it right there. It may be hot, but go back and forth until it gets to where you can put it up against your skin. It's going to be hot. And then once you can leave it there without it being so hot and hurting, leave it there, hold it there with a towel because it's going to stain your clothes. And that onion will draw that inflammation out. That's how I got rid of my side hurting because I was inflamed as well.
I tell you what's good for the cough.
It's just in my left lung.
I know.
I tell you what's good for that cough, Red.
What?
Get your socks off. Have one of your boys or somebody rub Vicks salve over the bottoms of your feet. Put your socks back on.
I hadn't even thought about that.
It works.
Yeah. That's a good idea, Papa.
Yep. That's, at night when I get to coughing, that's what I do.
Huh.
And this is also another thing that I had used when I was hurt and I was inflamed. I think I had bronchitis too. Let me see if I can't find it. It helped me tremendously with the pain.
Well, what I'm hoping is I ain't got pleurisy again.
Yeah,
I had
you don't want that.
I had it for 9 months, and the doctor wouldn't even do anything about it. I had to end up going to the hospital.
That's where the steamed onion will come in, and I will show you. If I can find it, I'm gonna look for it. That steamed onion and asparcreme. That's it. Asparcreme is what I was putting in that area, and it killed the pain. And then the steamed onion draws that inflammation out, that pleurisy out. You may have to do it more than one time, but that steamed onion it's a drawer. It'll draw that inflammation out. That's what I thought. I had pleurisy too. But
hey, y'all talk. I gotta run inside and get something real quick. I forgot to take my medicine. Anyway, y'all talk real quick, and I'll be right back. I'm just going to mute my mic, but I'll be right back. Y'all just keep on going. If anybody comes up, I'll be back. Just hang out in the basement, and I'll be back and get you up in there if you want.
But That helped me, Red. That helped me so much.
Red, have you ever heard of deep heat?
How do you spell that?
DEEPHEAT.
No, I've never heard of it.
Me neither.
It's hard to find, but when you find it, it's worth it. Get you a bottle of deep heat, and it's got like a thing you put it in. It's like an old shoe polish thing. You know, it's like a sponge on it. Wherever you're hurting, rub it on it, and then take Vicks salve, cover over top of it. Pain's gone.
That'll work.
Deep heat draws the pain out. I used to have abscesses, and I went to work with deep heat on the outside of my lip, and then Vicks salve over top of it. I went to work for 8 hours a day.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean it works. Yeah.
Wow.
I would definitely try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the yellow root that I was talking about earlier. Oh, that stuff works like you wouldn't believe.
Yellow root's good. Yellow root's good for
It
you.
tastes like crap.
Yep.
But it works.
We used to dig yellow root all the time.
Oh, wow.
Dig it out in the woods, yeah. We go ginsenging and dig up, yellow root, ginseng.
Yeah, my dad used to go ginseng hunting.
Yeah. A lot of good times, though.
My dad one time went ginseng hunting with his brother. Now, mind you, I said his brother. Well, his brother wasn't having any luck, and my dad was finding lots of it.
Hold on. Eddie, thank you, brother. I appreciate you coming by. Eddie, if you can't sleep, come back, brother, and jump on here. You're more than welcome to come up here and sit with us or whatever.
Wait a minute. No,
I'm sorry, Dad. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
It's okay. Anyways, my uncle got mad because my dad was finding all this ginseng. So he got in his car and abandoned him. Left me.
Dang on.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of ginseng. A lot.
I have a book.
My uncle would shoot you over it. I mean, he kicked one of his friends down the hill because his friend was finding it and he wasn't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was mean.
Wow.
Well, that stuff's worth a lot of money.
Yeah, I was climbing up the hill, and it was like a high wall, and I was scaling up it, and I got to the top, pulled myself up, and looked, there's a female rattlesnake, yellow rattler.
Oh!
Wild up and getting ready to strike me. And
he froze off, but he froze up.
I know.
I fell all the way down to the bottom, broke my hand all to pieces.
Ooh.
Found one of the biggest patches of ginseng I've ever seen in my life, and I had to let a friend of ours dig it. I told him, go on and dig it. It's yours. Yeah.
Wow.
It's something like over 2 pounds green in one patch. And that's a lot of ginseng.
Hey, you know what's worth more than ginseng?
Common sense.
A black bear's gallbladder.
Really?
$10,000.
No.
It's an aphrodisiac over in Asia, and yeah. But if you get caught doing it, I'm telling you, even if I legally shoot that bear in bear season, if I got caught selling a gallbladder for $10,000, boy, they would lock me up and throw away the key.
Wow.
No kidding.
Yeah, they'll lock you up. They'll lock you up and throw you, put you underneath the jail.
That's why I always cry every time I got that bear. I cry. I cry. That's a lot of money to have to just throw away. But you can't do it.
What do they use the bladder for? What is it?
It's an aphrodisiac in I guess like a sexual enhancer over in Asia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm learning all kinds of stuff from you, Shaky. I didn't never know.
Better watch what you learn, though.
I know. Oh my!
I tell you what, if Eddie's having problems sleeping, I'll just send him one of these Fruity Pebbles bar.
Oh, geez.
He'll sleep.
I tell you what, guys. I don't know who was more upset about Godfest being over this week. All of us, or just Tony by himself. I swear.
Did you see the post that I put in there?
I sure I did, but I can't remember 10 minutes ago.
I'm willing to open up a channel for it.
Well, he did. He's got a channel now called Godfest.
Yeah, but I'm talking about one that anybody can get on there.
Oh, there you go. Well, do it on your own. That's awesome, man. Do it on your own. The more the word of God gets out, the better it is. Yeah. You know, it doesn't have to be confined to one person's channel or any. You know, and you know something I learned in school. If you think about this, Jesus had 12 disciples. Okay, now go back to that time and era. There was no internet. You know, it wasn't like we have it now. So Jesus had 12 disciples. If each one of those disciples went out and got 12 followers and taught them, and each one of those went out and got 12 and taught them, look how that spreads.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. You know, Jesus had a plan. God had a plan. And to spread his word, you know.
You've really made me proud, Shake. You sure have.
Well, you know, I thank you for it. You know,
I mean, don't get me wrong. The pastors were good, but you was just as good. You know, when you reveal the truth about yourself, that takes a lot.
It's hard.
Oh yeah,
it takes a lot.
It does.
That takes some gonads right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, there's a lot I won't talk about too. I'm telling you, there's a lot I won't talk about. I mean, if y'all knew what I have done in my life, y'all wouldn't even be here wanting to talk to me now. Trust me.
I've got a good idea, but you know that's beside the point. You was man enough to stand up, and that's what it takes. People's got to be man enough and willing enough to stand up and fight for what they believe.
Well, God gave it to me. God gives me that courage, and it's all right. God. It's not me. I'm just that vessel, and that's one thing I've learned. It's not me. It's not about me. It's about God, and I'm just glad that I've had the mentorship that I've had through that channel.
Yeah, yeah.
With everybody.
You know, we got to raise that sail to make that vessel fly. You know, if we don't raise the sail, it ain't going nowhere. Just like you said with the 12 disciples. You know, they get 12, they get 12, they get 12. You know, you raise that sail, it gets another sail. Same thing.
Well, you got to look at it this way. If you hadn't made mistakes in your life, how are you going to learn?
Yeah.
Right. I agree. Yes, Red.
They ain't one person on the face of this earth that ain't made a mistake.
I made several, and meaning the neighborhood just so happened to be one of them.
Amen, Donnie. Amen.
Travis sitting over there laughing at me.
Shaky, you made your sermon last night. Yeah, it was last night. Got me to thinking, and I had to start. I was searching me, and I went through the 10 Commandments, and I realized, thinking that I was okay, you through your sermon made me realize, wait a minute, I'm not okay.
None of us are.
None of
us are. You know, you can take just one. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What I did was I looked at the 10 Commandments and I said, okay, forget my past. I'm forgiven. My sins are under the blood of Christ. But in the past year, what of the 10 Commandments have I broken? And I'm like, you know, and I started looking at, you made me reassess myself. Yeah, you made me reassess myself. And in the past year, you know, I'm thinking, man, you know, but and now, you know, I still have questions about, you know, how I've been taught about, you know, because I don't know if you know, Red, I am a Messianic Jew, so we do believe in the law, and I'm still, you know, questioning, you know, okay, the law thing, and how what I was taught, and the forgiveness, and because to me, in my mind, it doesn't make sense not to follow any law because we follow the law here of the land, and I'm trying to comprehend, and I'll find it. The Lord will help me. The Lord will help me through y'all.
It's God's law. It's God's law is what you got to follow.
Right.
It don't matter if you're Jewish, Protestant, Catholic. It don't matter about none of that. As long as you follow God's law, that's what matters.
Right.
I mean, if you don't follow His law, you know we're all falling short of God.
And I realized that. Going through the Ten
Right.
Commandments by myself.
But you know,
Jackie,
we have to take that stand. We have to take a stand.
Yeah, and it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to assess your own self. And Shakey's, your sermon last night really helped me go, wait a minute. You know, I need to start looking at me. And anyway, you opened my eyes to some things, Shaky. I really appreciate your message yesterday.
Judy, to answer your question, I just sent you a private message. That's not something I'm going to get into on here. I sent you a private message on Facebook, on Messenger. I just sent you an answer to that.
But, you know, what we went through ain't nothing. Look what God went through.
Yeah.
You know, we ain't even touched the iceberg on it.
I asked the Lord a lot. Why did you pick me out of all my family? Because most of my family, they don't want to hear about the word. Will you be quiet about this?
There's a reason. There's a reason, and He knows the reason. It'll come. Am I
the only one in my family that enjoys talking about the Bible?
You know, look,
they don't want to hear it.
Jesus is coming back, not for peace, to wield a sword, to divide families. It says it right there in that book. I'm telling you. So be prepared and be prepared. Yeah, you may be the only one in your family. I'm not the only, well, to a point, I'm the only one in my family. But depending on how close family you want to talk about. But
my dad, my brother.
Yeah, well, my father's gone. My father was a drug addict and a drunk and everything else, and I never got to meet him. He was a woman beater. He tried to kill his his wives and everything else. Man, that dude was a killer. I mean, serial killer. And that's when they went after him. I mean, he was on the run when he died. So I mean, I don't come from. I was fortunate. I had a loving grandfather and grandmother that took me in when I was 3 months old. My grandmother died when I was 12. My grandfather was stuck with a teenager. When I was 3 months old, he was like 68 years old. So in the 70s and 80s, he was stuck with a teenager, a rebellious teenager at 80 years old. Yeah. You know, he lived to be 94. Thank you, Lord, for giving me those years with him. At least I got he lived long enough for me to be with Jackie, and she helped keep me to the right.
Straight.
And well, for as much as she could. I mean, I was still doing stuff I shouldn't then, but at least I had somebody in my life. But
well, like Red said, we're not going to learn if we don't make mistakes.
That is true.
That's true.
Travis, my dad raised him. His grandpa became his father because his biological father, his family just didn't want him to have anything to do with Travis or me. And when I first told him that I was pregnant, he told me he didn't need a child and a handicapped woman too.
What a thing to say.
But, I mean, he was young. We were young. He was, oh God, I'm telling myself here. He was 18. I was 21.
You're in a safe zone.
Huh?
You're in a safe zone tonight.
Yeah, you are. You are.
Well, he was young. He was scared. He still hadn't grown in his brain set to actually be an adult. He was still a teenager.
Yep.
But when he did come around and finally got to meet Travis, he met him the first time at Thanksgiving at my parents' house. He came and got him. And they spent a few hours together, and then he got to see him at Christmas time. And they just like, you know.
Hey,
What?
Sylvia.
I'm listening. I have to get my back. My back is itching.
I thought you fell out of the chair.
I was putting my book up back in my bookcase.
But anyways, they had made plans to go out in 4-wheeler and all this that April. He died before they could.
Wow.
Oh.
But my dad has still been Travis's dad.
Yeah.
I mean, he calls him dad. He calls him old man. You know.
Or that before.
Yeah, they'll call him buddy or
Buddy stepped
you
up
know,
to
it's
the
just,
plate.
huh?
He stepped up to the plate.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And
Well, you know,
Travis here.
And I love my
Travis-
mother. I love my mother, but she there was no way she could have took care of me.
No.
She was working. She was living in Washington D.C. and everything. And like I said, thank God for family. Thank God for family that's willing to step up and help. And it doesn't make you any less of a parent. It doesn't make you any less of a person. Sometimes we need help, and it's great when we have family that there's a fine line between being homeless on the street and on the street, and that fine line is a job and family. And if you don't have that family and you lose your job, it's like that.
Yeah,
So
right.
you look at a homeless person, you can't say, well, they're just a bum, they didn't want to work. That's not the case.
You can't
That's
judge
not the
somebody.
case.
No, it's not.
You can't
It's
judge them
not.
like that.
I know some of them are there because they want to be,
Right.
but I know a lot of them are there that don't want to
Don't
be there.
want to be. I'm
A few weeks ago, I gotta tell this because I'm so proud of him. A few weeks ago, Travis went to Walmart, and he said he saw, was the car broke down or?
No, it was out of gas, no food, no water.
Okay, anyways, this guy, I guess he's living out of his car, and he had a sign, no gas, no food, no water. And Travis said when he went to go, at first he didn't notice him, but then he got this, something like glimmered. So he went back to him. And what had glimmered was the cross that the man was wearing.
Mm.
Travis reached in his pocket and pulled out every bit, every penny, every dime, every nickel, every quarter that he had and gave it to the man. He goes, "This is all I got, but you can have it."
Oh.
Is he standing next to you?
He's over there in a chair.
Tell him to come over here for a minute.
He wants you to come over for a second. Just be careful. He's in his Fruit of the Looms.
So am I.
Hey,
Hey, I think the world of your mother. She is definitely my sister without being blood. And you're going to be my nephew, and Matt's always going to be my nephew. And I'm telling you, if you ever need me for anything, you get my number from her and you call me.
I will.
I'm telling you, son, I'm very proud of the man you are becoming. I'm proud of everything I've heard that you've done. And my being proud of you, it doesn't mean much. Trust me to whatever, but I'm very proud. And you know what matters? That man upstairs, and he is proud for what you do. It's acts like that is what he's trying to teach all of us to do. And
I think if the world was to wisen up and do what is needed to be done, the
There you
world
go.
would be a better place.
Well,
Yes.
not only that, but I mean, he prayed with the guy.
Amen.
Bless his heart.
Amen.
Bless you.
And then,
He's
I don't
standing
know,
up to be a man, brother.
a few months before this, he saw this woman. Well, explain the woman that was out in the parking lot. I can't explain. The one that you said looked just like she had a hard day. Well, I'll try to explain it. Anyways, he came home. He said, "Mom, he's there with this lady. It was in a Walmart parking lot." She said that she just looked like she had a really rough day. He goes, and I went over. He went over to her and asked her if she would not mind him praying with her. So they stood there in the Walmart parking lot praying.
There you
Amen.
go.
Amen. Amen.
Travis, you have a really good heart.
Yes, he does.
Guess what? You know where you got that heart from? Your
Your
mama.
mother.
Your mama.
But son, I mean what I say. I think of your mother as my own flesh and blood sister, and that means you're my nephew. And same with Matt. If either one of y'all need somebody to talk to and don't feel comfortable talking to somebody inside your family, you are more than welcome to always call me. I will always listen, and it will never go any further. It will never go any further. I can promise you that. But you know, you and Matt both know that you have a crazy hillbilly uncle in West Virginia that loves you both dearly and will always be here. Will be here for you.
Thank you.
I am so proud of these two.
I am too. I am too. You
I
don't
got a
see
lot
you don't see
up.
kids with a heart like that or
No.
hey Tony.
It's a blessing.
I will say this.
I Tony. Yeah, I mean, they go over to the elderly lady next door. We give her free eggs all the time. They go over there and they mow her grass, and we do her grass for nothing.
Yeah.
Just to help her out.
And Red, you know how serious I am because you've called me before and we've talked to each other and you and I have had a lot of conversations. So you know I'm honest about what I'm saying.
There's not too many young guys like Travis that will
No.
stop and pray with someone in public.
You know, my daughter.
He goes up to military men and women. He goes up to the police officers. He shakes their hand and says, "Thank you for your service."
I do the same thing, absolutely, and they deserve it too.
Yes, they do.
And nowadays, all you hear is kids raising Cain, doing stuff they shouldn't be doing.
My youngest daughter's in her 30s now, and I don't think she's very religious. She lives in Baltimore City, and when she was a little girl, I mean, like 10 years old, we were at Walmart, and she had some money, and she wanted to buy a toy. I said, "Well, that's fine, you know." And she picked out the toy she wanted, and I said, "You sure that's what you want?" She said, "Yeah." And we walked outside that Walmart. It was at Christmas time. There was a Marine standing there doing Toys for Tots, and she handed that Marine that toy and said, "Somebody else needs it more than I do." And that just broke me down right there. You know, I was so proud of her. I was just so proud of her. And she did it on her own. Nobody asked her to do it. Nobody even suggested that she do it. And to see kids be that way, it just makes me so proud to know that there's a generation coming up that still has respect for others and not just themselves.
This is Matthew behind me.
Hey, Matthew.
Matt, you heard what I said to Travis, didn't you?
He was in his bedroom.
Red is a sister to me. We may not be blood, but she's my sister and has been. And I told Travis, and I'll tell you, if you ever need me, you have an uncle, a crazy uncle in West Virginia that loves you both dearly and that will always be here for you. All you have to do is call me. Even if it's just a talk and it stays between us, it doesn't matter. Believe me, son, I have done things in this world and I've gone through things that you could never imagine. And I'm telling you, I will understand. You can trust me on that. I will understand no matter what. But you are always welcome to call me and talk to me. I will always be here for both of you. 100%.
Thank you. He looks. Come closer. Cause what? Yeah. He looks
Tony,
like me, don't he?
Yep. Both your sons look like
you.
you.
Yeah, but I know the truth.
Matt's not my biological son.
Oh, I didn't know.
Nah.
Okay.
That's the kind of heart Red has.
Yeah, Matt was raised by his grandparents, and because his father stays in jail for being drunk, and his mother was, well,
She's a bee.
yeah,
What I mean.
she
I heard that.
she abandoned him as a baby.
Oh.
So his grandparents raised him. Well, now both of his grandparents are gone. He doesn't have a family. And I've known Matt since he was. I've known Matt. Yeah. I've known Matt since he was 13 years old. You know, he was actually Travis's best friend, but in my heart,
He's yours.
he's also my son.
That's right. That's the way to do it.
Wow.
He hasn't had it easy. Like I said, his mother ran off. His dad was always in jail. His grandparents raised him, and his next door neighbor actually set him up because what they were doing is they were actually stealing food boxes that the church was sending him, and they wasn't giving it to him. They were keeping it for themselves.
Oh man.
Oh no.
So yeah,
I just
so
got it, Donnie.
they told him, they said, well, you can go scrap things. So they sent him over to this place. They said, it's all scrap. You can scrap it. You can scrap it. He said, are you sure? And they're like, yeah, you can do it. You can do it. So he got it. Then they turned around because it wasn't scrap. They turned around, turned him in to the police and to the people that had this stuff.
Right.
He went to jail for 2 months just because he was trying to get him up enough money for food
Wow.
that they were stealing from him, that the church was sending to him.
Yeah.
You know, I caught a guy. I caught a guy stealing from me
Pastor
one time.
Tony, no problem. I have an understanding heart. No problem at all, Pastor Tony.
And I caught a guy stealing from me one time. Was in my barn, in my shed, stealing stuff. And I caught him. And I said, why are you stealing it? Guy had a crack habit. I beat the hell out of him. I beat that son of a booger senseless. And then about a month later, I caught another guy in my shed stealing. And I said, why are you stealing my stuff, man? He says, I got to feed my family. I said, well, next time come knock on my door. I went up to the house and got a bag of groceries and gave it to him. I said, just come ask me.
Come ask.
I don't, a thief is a thief. I can understand why somebody would steal, but honestly steal. I got more sympathy for a man that would steal for his family to feed them than to steal for a drug habit or alcohol. I got more sympathy for him. I'm not saying it's right or wrong or whatever, but I have more sympathy for him. Right. But like I told him, you knock on my door next time, and believe me, I'll help you. But don't steal from me again.
That's right.
Well, see, Matt didn't want to be a burden upon anyone else.
Oh, I understand. Nobody wants to be a burden.
And he was scared to ask us because he's like, they've done enough for me. I can't keep asking from them. I'll feel like I'm, leeching off of them or something.
Sure. You feel like a burden.
Yeah. And so he done what he thought he could do, which was a complete setup. And now, mind you, this is his first cousin or second cousin that set him up. Mm-hmm. And he went to jail for 2 months just so he could feed himself.
Yeah. My son was dating a girl, and he decided he wanted to live with her. And the girl's mother grandma locked the refrigerator with a chain and locked all the cabinets. He had to steal a can of raviolis out of the cabinet and go in the bathroom and lock the door to eat. I told my son, I said, boy, you come home when you're hungry and I will feed you. But if I ever hear of her doing that to you again, I will come down there and rip every cabinet door. I will rip the door off the refrigerator. I will destroy that house. You don't treat a kid or anybody like that. I don't care. Well, you don't do it.
I'm going to bed, people.
No, you'll be back, but we love you.
I'm wore out tonight.
Hey, Papa. Hey, Papa.
Good night, Papa Rob.
I'm very proud of you too. And you in tomorrow's day 5, and the next day will be day 6.
That's right.
And you're doing it one day at a time. Papa, I love you more than you'll ever know. You're a big inspiration to me, and you're always welcome here. And if you ever need me, you call me because you've got my number, and
I got it. Yeah,
I'm always here for you, brother.
Love you, Grandpa.
I'm always here.
Grandpa.
I call him my grandpa.
Santa Claus.
Granddaughter.
I love you, Papa Larry.
I love you.
Good night.
Love you too. Good night.
If anybody else wants to come up, you're more than welcome. I put the link up there. Please come join.
I took Matt in after he got out of jail. I took him in.
I remember that. I remember when that happened.
And Travis and I worked with him. You know, to put him on that straight and narrow road again, to get him, you know, to help him work through things.
Right.
Well, you know what, Red? The most important thing is you're not treating him like a burden or a problem. You're taking him in and you're educating on him how to live on his own and live the right way. That's what's important. You're not making him dependent. You're not making him dependent. You're teaching him. You're teaching him how to grow his own food, how to raise chickens, how to be a person that can take care of themselves. And nobody's done that before.
He knows how to can now. He knows how to make soap now.
I've seen this awesome.
I mean, he helped us with the rendering of the tallow.
Yeah.
He knows how to cook now. You know, I mean, he's getting better. I mean, the garden. He's done really. I mean, he just like picked up and just took off with that garden.
I'm so proud of what he's done since he came to live with you. I have seen it. I have seen it with my own eyes through the videos and talking to you. I have seen what he's accomplished, and I'm so proud of what he's done.
He has changed. Awesome. He seems happier. I mean, he laughs a lot, mainly at me, but he does laugh a lot.
For picking clovers out of the 4-leaves.
Oh God.
I used to do that when I was a kid, sit in a 4-leaf clover.
No, but the thing is Matt was getting
good night, Tony and Chris. I love you. Love you both.
Good night, Tony and Chris. Yes. No, Matt was getting the 4-leaf clover out from around our parsley. And that's what I tried to say, but that's not what I said in my video. I said Matt's pulling the clover out of the 4-leaf.
I missed that one, so that's all right. Sometimes we do that.
Yeah, Matt just started snickering. Oh, yep, folks, I'm leaving that one in.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you're teaching them how to be young men, and that's what matters.
Yeah.
I got to teach them to survive when I'm not here.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
That is true. You know who taught me how to can?
Who?
Travis.
Wow.
That's awesome. But that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they'll make it. They're going to have hard times, but man,
who doesn't have hard times?
No. I have subscribed to a channel called Invisible People, and it's about homeless people.
Yeah.
And I watch it quite often to make myself feel blessed with what I have right now. Because I know maybe one day I might be homeless. I can't go back to my parents. They are very controlling, very dominating. You can't think for yourself. You can't have your own decisions. You have to think the way they do. It's very abusive. Because when I left, Princess and I split up for about 2 days, and I came back because my daddy just blew his temper for no reason over what a meal is called. So I call it lunch, and other people call it dinner. Big deal.
Supper, whatever. It's same thing.
Well, I'm trying to educate you. I don't need you to be educated, Daddy. This is insignificant.
Yeah.
And he just blew. I mean, he literally exploded. I'm like, I'm not going to stay here. And then Mama is like, oh, can't you understand? Both of you are hurting me. I'm like, I don't need this right now. I need y'all's support.
Hey, Travis, who does that sound like? What? Who does that sound like? Grandma. Uh-huh.
You know,
my mother has Munchausen's. Munchausen's by proxy. She's also a hypochondriac. She's a narcissist.
Both of my parents are narcissists.
And she's bipolar. All mixed up in a little ball.
Check this out. When I lived in Southern Maryland, I lived right across the river from a little town called Benedict. And there was a old black guy that used to come in this old pickup truck. It had a cap full of stuff, and he actually lived in the back of the truck. It was his home. He was homeless, but he lived in this truck. And he got this old boat, and he kept it at this marina where it was a bar and a restaurant and a marina all there, And everybody in there would always talk about him, whether he stunk or just how bad he was, just never. And I asked them all one time, they were all there talking about him. I said, have y'all ever talked to that man? They said, no. I said, you don't even know anything about him? They said, no. I got the bartender to give me 2 beers, and he was sitting out on the tables outside. I guess he'd been working on his boat. I went out there and handed him a beer and sat down. I said, how you been? We got talking. And after talking to him for an hour, he was an attorney. He was a lawyer from D.C. that got burnt out. This man was so intelligent, it was not funny. I mean, this man was, very intelligent. And we talked. He said, I know they make fun of me. He says, but I just couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't take being a lawyer. I couldn't take all of it. He says, I'm free now. He says, I got my truck. I live my truck. I go where I want to go. I got my boat. I can do what I want to do. And I'm telling you, after talking to him for about an hour and a half, we became good friends. I would go fishing with him, and we would spend a lot of, he was so intelligent. But, people, you're not going to know what anybody's like until you give them a minute to find out what they are like.
I'm going to follow that up with a story. I don't know if it's true, but it's one that I heard. There was a new preacher that was supposed to show up to this church.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're going. That was true.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, the one that pretended to be homeless.
Yeah. Well, he pretended to be homeless, and he came in there dressed like a homeless person.
Oh, yeah. I do remember.
And everyone was giving him sturdy looks like, what are you doing here? I don't want nothing with you. What are you doing here? And one of the deacons was up there talking. And, talking about the new preacher and all that. And these people are looking around trying to find him, and all at the same time giving this homeless guy the cold shoulder. And when the deacon asked him to come up, here comes this deacon walking up to the church, to the podium. I would have just loved to see the look on those people's face.
Well, Red, you give me 1 second. RED. You can see the look on their face. Ask and you shall receive. I sent you a link to the story on YouTube.
Oh.
I've seen that story. Yeah. I've seen it.
Wow.
Just watch it when you got time. Watch it when you got time.
He did look homeless, didn't he?
Yeah.
Wow.
See, my parents are always like, too, if we help you, they expect you to help them back.
That's not the way it is. No.
I know.
I know what you're saying, but I don't agree with that. Way with them. I love everybody, but I don't like when people do that to other people.
I know.
I swear I've given people jump starts and they try to hand me money. I helped the lady change her tire if she got a flat. Let me pay it. No. Well, what do I owe you? You owe me a handshake.
Yeah.
That's what you owe me. You don't even need to know my name. You don't need to know nothing about me. You owe me a handshake, and God bless you. Have a great day. I hope it gets better. And that's the way it should be.
This is what I don't understand. I told you how my mom is. And my mom generally does not do anything unless there's strings attached.
Bingo. That's my parents.
Well, but every Christmas since I was in elementary school, my friends would come down, and my mom and my sister would go and find these old Barbie dolls and stuff like that. She'd have me and my friends wash them, condition their hair, and all that, while my sister and her sat there and crocheted those dolls' clothing.
Wow.
They would get like toys for the boys and all that. And then they would get hams and just everything for a Christmas Eve dinner ready. Or Christmas Day. Well, anyways. And then my brother-in-law, and they would find one family that was really, really in need. And my brother-in-law would go down and sneak the box onto their porch as quietly as he possibly could, and knock on the door real loud. And when he heard them coming, he'd run off. So when those people opened up their door, they had everything that they needed to try to make their Christmas Eve or Christmas Day special, not only for them, but for the kids too. See, I grew up with my mom doing that. She done it every single year.
I hear somebody tap dancing.
I think it's Jack. Yeah, it was.
See, my mama doesn't think my dad did anything wrong, even though he exploded on me, which is very abusive. And she takes his side, and she harassed me a little bit on Messenger from Facebook, and I unfriended them. And since that, I have not heard from her at all. They have not called. And, my counselor's like, your parents are narcissists. It is best to just cut ties with them. Mm. It's hard. I still love them.
Sure. And don't stop. Don't stop loving. Keep loving them. You don't have to love them for what they are or how they treat you or how they act, but I love them for just being your parents, just, for being human beings.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't allowed to be around my mother for 3 years, state ordered.
Wow.
Because I was going to kill her. I had full intentions on killing her. Wow. That's because, this is some of the things that she has said to me. When I miscarried my second child, which was also a boy, and it's kind of weird because I was going to name him Matthew. And like 6 months later, we met a Matthew.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but when I miscarried him, my mom's word to me was, I'm glad he's dead. You didn't need him anyways.
Come on.
My mom
She also has encouraged me. Her exact words were, I do hope you kill yourself because that would be entertainment for me.
How do you tell somebody something like that?
My mama's told me if ever I had a child, she would take me to court and deem me an unfit mother so she could take care of it. I'm like, no, not when I had to stop you from whipping my nephew that's 3 months old.
Hey, Rusty Pepper.
And hey, Rusty Pepper, how are you, sweetie?
Hey, Rusty.
And there's another thing she told me when I was on my wedding day. Well, you don't deserve that pretty dress. Thanks a lot, Mom.
Well, see, at one point I couldn't stand my mom. Like I said, I couldn't be around her for 3 years. I couldn't. From my own mentality, I could not be around her. But during those 3 years, though, of going and seeing a therapist and talking through it and just learning to get, because I have PTSD because of everything that they've done.
I think I do too. And friends.
I learned, growing up, Shaky, this might be something that, I may not have told you. And one reason I said that you're the only brother that I have, and the only brother that I claim, is because my older brother raped me when I was 7 years old and started sharing me with his friends.
I could have went my whole life without knowing that.
But I forgave him.
Coming from, it happened to me too. My uncle and aunt, I was molested all my life.
I forgave him. I forgave him with all of my heart. I forgave him, and I forgave my mom. But here's the twist: they haven't forgiven themselves because now they see what they've done.
Now I know why you told me what you told me the other day.
Well, when I said
about the house, why you didn't want to move to that, about the house when we were talking about the house. Hi,
there's Rusty.
Hi,
Hi, Pepper.
Hi, Red.
Hey,
Hey,
Shaky.
yeah, Shaky. That's why I don't want to go
Yeah,
into that.
I understand now. I understand. I mean, I knew there was some reason, and I didn't know it was that awful, but I was sure there was a reason to a point why, and that makes a lot of sense to me.
And I stood in the middle of the dining room, between the dining room and the kitchen, with my dad standing there with a loaded shotgun. He was drunk. And he told me, I got 2 bullets in here. One for me, one for your mom. Let me kill her. I'll kill myself. You can have it all. I was 15.
You know what? I was extremely blessed. My mother threw me away. I didn't have to live through any of that, Red. I just had foster homes that were hateful, but I didn't have to go through anything like you guys did. Not with my own mother and my own dad. I never got to know them. I mean, I did for a few years, but when my mom put me on that bench, I was thrown away.
See, that's why I made a comment I made. Nobody knows what goes on behind closed doors, or nobody knows what it's like to walk in somebody else's shoes except for the man upstairs. He's the only one that knows.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
But there's one thing you've got, and it's hard. Don't get me wrong. It's very, very hard. But you've
Yes, it
got
is.
to learn to forgive these people, because if you're not willing to forgive, then why should he forgive?
Right.
Why should he forgive us if we don't forgive them?
Well,
Exactly.
that sounds like my first message I did.
You know
and
what?
got
It does. But you know what? My mother doesn't understand. Well, you need to forgive. I said I have, but doesn't mean I want the abuse back in my life.
Exactly.
I don't want nothing to do with my aunt. Sorry.
Nor are you ever
Yeah.
going to. Yeah, I can't say ever going to, but if you ever do, it'll be a long while before you can actually forget.
Yeah, it's one thing to forgive; it's another to forget.
Oh, I went through 5 years.
You can forgive, but you know what?
Every day
You can't
for
forget.
what happened to me.
God can ask us to, because what did he do? He threw our sins into the sea of forgetfulness, never to remember any of our sins ever again.
Right.
So, I mean, he did that for us.
Yes.
True.
I know he wants us to do it for the others, but he knows we're not him. He knows we're human. So, he doesn't expect the worst from us. He just knows because of Jesus walking this earth.
I finally got to the point where I had forgiven my uncle's dead now, but my aunt is still alive, and I've forgiven him, and she was here not too long ago, and I said no, I don't want to see her. I have forgiven, but I don't want to see her. I don't want her back in my life.
The way that I say it, you can forgive them, but this does not mean that you have to be within the realm of toxicity.
Bingo.
Exactly.
Right. And my mom just don't understand that. I'm like, you never did. You did not protect me growing up.
People can't understand. They think I need to forgive my mother. And I think you guys heard it before. For what? What do I need to forgive her for? As a child, I never understood. I thought it was all on me. I was a child.
We grow up thinking that, yeah.
Yeah. Children grow up thinking that is right. But I still, she's my mother. What was there for me to forgive? The only thing I could figure out is the fact that she decided to load me to a park bench. And all that time I was there, I kept thinking, what did I do to make my mother so angry with me for this? What did I do? I mean,
but the thing is, did you ever think that maybe she's fighting her own demons at that time?
I didn't know. As a child, you don't know.
No, you don't.
When I got older, I didn't care. I just wanted to know my mother, and my mother had passed away. Without me ever getting to say, Mom, I love you. But I don't think she wanted to hear that.
Well, my mom and I, our relationship has changed. I mean, she's told me, she goes, I don't understand how you can forgive your brother. And I went, you don't understand, but you're a Christian? You don't understand? Yeah, yeah. And she goes, I can't forgive him. I mean, what is there for you to forgive? He did it to me, not to you. You've got to learn to forgive him, just like I have learned to forgive him. You know, but now that I've started putting my foot down, which is not very easy being a paraplegic.
Right.
Sorry.
Jeez, Red.
Sorry. Sometimes I can't help it. But
Let me tell you, don't put that foot down too hard because it would be an earthquake.
I've had to put my foot down with my parents.
Hey,
and they know that, and it irks them to no end because they know they cannot control me anymore.
It does.
Red, I'm in a boat similar to you. I'm in a wheelchair. But I tell you what, even though I can't tell it, I know when I put my foot down. Or should I say, I know when my foot hits the ground. Because there's a few things around me that shake.
Well, I have learned a very valuable lesson, too, which kind of helped my mom stop what she was doing. And there's a very, very important button on your phone.
Wow.
It's called the Be Gone button. Hang up on them.
Yep.
Yeah, I do that quite often.
By the way, you know what?
What?
That's one of my favorite buttons on the phone. I have been getting.
I don't answer it. I have a number, and I don't answer it.
I have been getting so many calls that are aggravating calls. They're what's that called?
Oh, the spam callers.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. But you don't see any ID, so you don't know if it's one of your friends, because you do have friends that their name is not up there, but their number is. And anyway, so you answer because you think it's one of them. Or it could even be your case manager.
Yeah.
Because she calls from a phone that we can't have identified by her because it's a government job, you know.
Well, you know how you can mess with them? When you know it's spam, start talking like a 4-year-old girl.
You know what I do?
I get my mommy and my daddy. Give me a second. Mommy, daddy. And they're going, what about called?
I already sound like a kid. I have had them tell me. I have already had them tell me, we need to speak to your mommy or your daddy. And I tell them, they're not home right now.
You know what I've done? You know what I've done? I had this guy call me, and he kept calling me, and I figured, and I just watched this YouTube video, and I was thinking, I'm gonna try this. So he said, "Ma'am, we're doing this and this and this," and I said, "Yes." And he said, "Well, how old are you?" "Yes." "Oh, well, ma'am, how old are you?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Ma'am, I'm trying to ask you how old you are." And I said, "Yes." And he hung up, and I haven't heard from him again.
You know how I answered the phone?
How?
Y'all, please don't think I'm a bad person for this. Oh, hello. Thank you for calling 7-Eleven. May I help you, please?
Hey,
well, the other day on the way home from the hospital, I thought, like I said, my mom and my our relationship has changed a lot. And I decided to call her to let her know that I was on my way home. And she answered the phone and I went, I want to talk to my mommy. And she started laughing. She goes, well, I am your mommy, little girl. I went, hi, mommy. And she just died laughing. She told me later on that day, she goes, when you did that, that made me just feel good inside.
So there's something that I'm going to do here. It's kind of like street sign language or whatever you. You see this? Watch what I do. You know what that means?
No, you're going to have to remind me.
You're no drip. Drip right here, and you go upward.
I got you.
No drip.
Yep.
You are no drip. I love your answer on the phone.
I used to have
Judy, I do understand what you mean. I do understand what you mean. I mean, I got 2 sisters and a brother. I'm the baby of the family.
I am too.
And my oldest sister, she is 62 years old. She'll be 63 in August. She has never drank, smoked, or done drugs her whole life. None of it. My second sister is on meth and heroin right now.
Oh, wow.
She's got 4 children, and she was on drugs when they were little. And her oldest, Brianna, had to take care of her sisters because she had 4 children, all girls. Brianna now is graduating from college. She's going to be, what is above an RN? Is that
above an RN?
Yeah.
That's like a
physician's assistant.
Physician's assistant, I guess is what it would be, right?
Okay, she is becoming
nurse practitioner. I'm sorry, nurse practitioner.
Right.
Okay, that's what she's graduating college in.
That's awesome.
Her other daughter is a artist, and I mean, she sells her stuff in New York. She's also a teacher, teaches art. Her third daughter is an English teacher. And unfortunately, her other daughter is on meth and heroin as well with her mom.
Well, at least 3 out of 4 ain't a bad percentage.
No, not at all.
I remember times, and I'll tell you what, it happened about 15 years after I was born. But I remember the times when there weren't anything like hard drugs in the house. I mean, we had to even create our own stuff that was like marijuana. But most families then, we weren't like that. Of course, too, we could always go to the Indian reservation and find the good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up with my dad. Now, mind you, my dad used to be a cop. He was also a deacon of the church. But he also drank like a fish. And my mom did too. And they both popped volumes like they were M&Ms.
I was raised around music. My daddy played in the nightclubs, and when he wasn't playing, he had bands over, and they played from 6 in the evening till 6 in the morning. We never got any sleep. We were sleeping in school, and the band members weren't doing drugs.
Well, see, now my grandpa Hungate, my grandpa Farley, they were all musical. They played the banjos and guitars, and my great aunts would sit out on the porch and they would sing and all that. Yep. But when that pillar of that family passed away, everything went up.
I know. That's like, my real grandfather's side, when my step grandmother and my real grandfather died away, all my aunts, everything is just, I haven't heard from my Aunt Connie in years, The only one I keep in touch with is my Aunt Jan. So
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, only aunt I talk to is my Aunt Sue. The rest of my mother's sisters, no. I don't want nothing to do with them because they're all like my mother. I mean, I don't want nothing to do with them. So, and I don't have anything to do with, well, I do talk to 2 cousins that's on my dad's side, but the rest of his family, I don't want nothing to do with them. Or toxic.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question. I'm gonna change the subject, but why is it every time I do a live, I'm the only guy on it?
We love you, Shaky.
That's no, I'm not. I'm not. I'm just messing.
You're
Probably
just cool
because
to hang out with.
Probably
I got-
because you're the only one with enough nerves to sit up there.
I know, because Papa Rock comes in and Eddie comes. I'm just making a joke because I was sitting here looking at those 3 women. I was like, wow, usually comes up that way. Last night or the night before, it was like it was 6 of us on here, and I was the only guy on here.
Okay.
Well, I know.
How many is on here now?
Just 4 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Judy's in the, I
Yeah,
wish she would come up on.
Yeah, no. Judy, come on up here. I'll put the link back up if you want.
Yeah,
The
it
link
would be
should be right
nice to
there.
see
Come on up
you.
here, Judy.
Miss Judy, I would love to see you.
And don't use the excuse like you did the last time, because I blew that one out of the water.
What's that?
How she, she had all these problems, and she didn't want to come up. And
Hey, Larry Grandy. Larry's here. Tell him to come
yeah,
up.
you know who
another
that
guy.
is, don't you? You know who that is?
Hey,
That's
Larry.
That's
Shaky
Papa
said-
Rock.
Shaky said he's short
Hey.
a couple of guys.
No, Larry does the Larry's been on the God Fest. He does the prayers. No, that's not Papa Rock.
Oh, okay. Well, isn't Papa Rock's name Larry too?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's that's
This
different
is a
last name
different
though.
Larry.
I
Yeah,
do apologize, Larry, for getting you confused with someone else.
Larry or Judy, either one. If you want to come up, please come up. You're more than welcome to.
Well, you got enough room for the 2 of them.
Oh yeah, 2 more people can come up. And I'm thinking about going up, stepping up anyway. It depends on how many more lives I want to keep doing, or how many I want to do. I was thinking about just cutting it back to 1 a week, but I'm having so much fun doing these lives. A couple times a week.
I've got 8 hours left on mine.
And it's not just the cutting up and all that, but we talk about anything and everything here. From joking around to being personal about things, and it's just so much people can watch.
Friendship. We're having
Sure.
fun with you. Yeah.
Hey,
And every once in a while, I'll throw out a wheelchair joke. I can't help it, Shaky.
It's
I
okay.
can't.
And it's
Why not,
okay,
Larry?
Red.
I'm going to pout, Larry.
Where did Rusty go?
I don't know.
No, your picture's gone. That's what I was.
I know.
I turned off my camera.
Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. I was just wondering. I mean, that's fine. As long as you knew you did. I turned my camera mic off. Don't even realize I did it, and then I just.
With me, when people first meet me, I tend to be, I guess, too strong, and I guess it's a wall I put up. But when you get past that barrier with me, you find out that I'm really a neat and a kind person.
Sure.
Well, with me, if I'm nervous, I'll tell a joke. If I'm upset, I'll tell a joke. If I'm happy, I'll tell a joke. If I'm sad, I'll tell a joke. I can't help it. It's just that it comes
That's
out.
the way you are.
Well,
Yeah.
hold on a second, Sylvia. I'm sorry. I'm reading Larry's comment. Larry says, "You know what? Let me see if I can do this. I'll
My
do
heart
this."
is sad to hear.
Larry, we all go through something, and us sitting here talking about it, somebody could be listening this an hour down the road and say, "Hey, wow, you know what? I'm not alone in the world. There's people that, and even I don't care how bad you have it. There's always somebody else that's got it worse. Don't harp on the bad things, because there's always somebody else going through something so much worse.
Definitely.
So it's.
Hey, Larry, we've gone past that. We're talking about other things that are happier. You know, I mean, we got a few jokes out there. Like Shaky keeps getting this one particular little bug that keeps flitting around the top of his head.
I know.
And that is so cute. It's not a very little bug, but it's
At least he ain't eating it this time.
What's the matter, Red? You don't like me eating my moss?
No.
Don't do that.
No.
I wish I had a cicada. I'd eat a cicada in front of you.
Ew, yuck. No.
Oh.
Oh. Ugh.
What you say they taste like? Shrimp?
Yeah, they're in the same family as shrimp. Sure.
You've eaten them before?
Heck yeah.
Oh. Well, you're not. Well, Bible says grasshopper, and that's not a grasshopper.
No, that's a locust, actually. Well, I mean, the cicada's a locust, but
Yeah.
You know, let me tell you something. In the Bible, when Paul was stopped by, I forget what it was he was stopped by. There was a big white sheet dropped in front of him. And on that sheet was put all kinds of animals and bugs of this world. And he told Paul to eat them. They were there for his food. I'm sorry, but at the moment, as long as I got food I grew up with eating, I'm going to keep eating it. I'm not eating no bug.
let me tell you this story. I knew this old lady near where I used to live at when I was a little kid. When I was young, I used to go over her house, and she always had the best chocolate chip cookies you ever had. I mean, they were great. And well, later on, I found out they weren't chocolate chips in the cookies. She used to cut up earthworms and put them in there.
I've heard of that.
And it was like protein.
I've heard of that.
I tell you what, if she was still alive, I'd have her make me a dozen of them, because I'm gonna tell you, they were great with protein and the best tasting cookies I ever had.
As long as
the way I said I didn't eat mud pies when I was little, and I ain't gonna eat them now either. Just like
I can't say I didn't eat no mud pies, because I did. I used to sit in the we used to have ditches, and I used to sit on the edge of the ditch making mud pies. Honey, they were good. For me, back then, they were good because that was the best food I got. The only food I got sometimes.
I mean, I've ate the ground a few times, but trust me, I don't want to do that again either.
Nope.
But, you know, I had a little girl who did worse than that. She didn't like mud pies, but what she did enjoy was grinding her tuna fish or peanut butter sandwich in the dirt and eating it. When she used to, you could be looking right at her, and she'd get down from her chair and be outside eating a dirty sandwich without you realizing she had left. She was that quick.
She's probably missing some type of mineral in her body.
That's what the doctor said she was. And she sure enjoyed it. But she'd come back in that quick. She'd come back in with dirt all around her mouth. And I got so upset with her. I say, honey, we have better food than that. And she'd just shake her head. She was just a toddler.
I know my cousin used to eat dog food. He'd eat it and give it to Tippy. And then he'd eat some more and give it to Tippy. I'm like, don't do that.
While I'm thinking about this, Judy, on Messenger, I tagged you and LR in a group chat with just the three of us about what we talked about the other night with the music on Sylvia's channel. He's the one that gets he writes songs and has people make the songs for him and the CDs made for him. So as soon as he sees it and answers me, you'll see it in the message. So I did make a little group chat with just the three of us, and he can guide you if you want to get information on about making your songs you write in the music.
And I also left that link on that video to the copyright office. It's there in the description. Just click on it. It'll send you right to that page.
And, I don't understand why Judy said she didn't want to come up here. And what you talking about, Red? She's a friend of mine on Facebook now. And I'm not saying this to be rude or crude or whatever. I'm a happily married man, whatever. I'm not saying this to be,
You're not
whatever.
saying it to be a weirdo.
No, but she's a very beautiful woman. I've seen her pictures on it. She's actually a very beautiful woman. You should come up and join us.
Yeah, we want you to.
See? That's what I've been saying all along.
What?
Like the other day, when we was talking, I was like, it doesn't matter what's on the outside.
Oh,
it
no.
matters what's in the inside.
Oh, right. Absolutely.
I like hanging out with you, Red, because you remind me so much of my Aunt Beverly. You know what her favorite song was?
What?
Don't
worry, be happy.
Be happy.
That was her favorite song.
That was the one.
No for no, but don't worry.
That's the one song I can't stand.
Be happy.
Oh, sorry. Why?
Probably because my driver's ed teacher used to torture me with that song.
I got you.
Reading Larry's comment, there's a family of people, and I think they're either in Tennessee or Kentucky, that are blue. They actually have blue skin because whatever they eat had the clay in it from the ground, and it turned them blue.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they found that it was harmless to them, but it actually turned their skin blue. So
Celtic or Celtic salt has all the minerals that your body needs.
I love Himalayan salt. It's pink.
It's the same way. It's the same thing. It has all the minerals that your body needs. And I actually drink water sometimes with that salt in it to get those.
Judy, I don't need glasses. I don't need glasses. Believe me, if my ugly mug can get up here, I do. I wear glasses, but I'm just saying. She says I need to get my new glasses, but no, I'm telling you, you're not as bad as what you let on to be. You're not. You're a very attractive woman, so don't ever think that you're not. That's
Judy. You need to come on and get up here. We need it. We need you. You're almost totally alone in the audience. I know that's got to be a lonely spot.
Yeah, I would like to
in the dark. Oh, we got
you go.
Homestead preacher.
Yeah. And Donnie, you might know what I'm talking about with the blue people. They were eating. I don't remember if it was maybe it's what they were eating off of, or something was made out of the clay. Anyway, somehow they were getting that clay in their system, or they were using the clay in their food, but they actually are blue. They actually have blue skin.
Bring them up here.
You never seen it, Red?
They eat clay.
Yeah.
The only thing that comes to my mind is, how do they poo?
Same way as you.
Out their butt. How do you think?
Well,
it seems like to me they'd be constipated.
Right?
No. Actually, you would never believe this, but it helps clear you out better because fluids go along and push that, in layers out along with their other stuff. But it does. My little one never had a problem with that. I mean, she pooped more than I did.
So if my boys see me eating dirt out there in the garden, they ask me why I'm eating dirt. I'm gonna tell them because you all told me to.
Oh, no, I did not tell you to, but I did tell you that it wouldn't be harmful. Well, I take that back. There's people that put poisons in their soil.
I sent you that thing, Red. Red, I sent you something.
Rusty Pepper, I was joking, hon.
I know. Oh. And bring Donnie up here, please.
They look like Smurfs.
Huh?
The people in this picture look like Smurfs.
Told you they have blue skin.
Yeah. What do they call them? The blue skin people
of Kentucky? Of Kentucky, yeah.
Yeah, blue skin people.
And explains why their skin is blue.
Right.
And to this day they still are. There's still actually people with blue skin down there to this day.
Wow.
Some people have turned blue from eating too much something silver.
Donnie,
colloidal. how do you pronounce that? Colonial? Yeah, but there was a guy that
Okay.
was eating too much of
That's
that, and he
fine.
actually
That's fine,
died.
Donnie. We don't need to see you in your nightgown. That's fine, bro. I'm just kidding, bro. It's all good. It's all good. But you're always welcome here.
I bet he's got curlers too.
I don't think so. He's like me on top.
He ain't got no hair. Oops. Not up here.
That doesn't mean he couldn't put on that little cap with him.
Oh gosh, I don't think men do
We love
that.
you, Donnie.
Or you
love
silly
you.
buddy and stick them to his head.
Or he can wear a toupee.
And you know, that's another thing I like about everybody here. We can joke with each other and nobody gets mad about it because it's all in fun. It's no harm intended.
Right.
I just, I love that when people can have a good time and just not just be upset about every little thing.
Oh God, the other day when I was down there seeing Alex and April and Glenn was there. Well, Alex wanted to work on
I'm
me.
sorry, Larry.
And,
I know. I saw that. I'm sorry.
anyways,
Sorry.
Alex said, "April, come over here." So she comes over here and he goes, "Take her hand and raise it above her head." I'm like, "Okay." And April took my hand, and as she's raising my hand up, I went, "I'm so thankful I wore deodorant today." April started busting and got laughing.
Shaky, do me a favor. I want to show Judy something about my face.
Every time somebody raises
Put me up
arm
front,
like this,
Shaky.
I tell them it's a good thing the war's over.
Hold on. I took you out. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. I don't know how to do this.
Oh, okay.
Just give me a second. Give me a second. I'm gonna figure this. Now, if that's
I want
me.
to show Judy about my face.
That's me. How do I get you up there? No. How do I make you bigger?
Click
Judy,
on my video.
Bingo. I got it.
Look, Judy, I want to show you something about my birth defect. I was born with a cleft lip, all right there. And look at my nose. See, when I smile, it's very crooked. And it's pointy at one end. See? I've always thought I had an ugly face, but I don't think that anymore.
I'm glad you don't think that anymore.
But because my nose has always been crooked, you can tell. But that's because of my birth defect from my cleft lip. And I do have a point right there. The cartilage is starting to grow again, and I'm hoping it'll stop after a while. Because I've always been called a witch growing up, because of my nose. So
Well, you don't want
that scar, Judy, that scar on your face, don't worry about it. Don't worry about that scar on your face. Look at my nose and look at my lip. All right, that's all I wanted to say.
You don't need your nose to be growing anyway, because that's Pinocchio.
Yeah, I was gonna say, go ahead, Pinocchio.
I can't help it.
Hey, y'all talk real quick. I got a tinkle. I'll be right back.
Okay.
For what?
I think he said he had to go, and he'll be right back.
Yeah.
He had to go and visit the Tidy Bowl man. They have dictation to take.
Right. So don't worry, Judy, about that.
This is Red, and this is Sylvia.
Right. Oops. There.
I'm the one that will say things that you'll go, wait a minute. Did she just say that?
Yeah.
Surely, yes,
and in this way, when he comes back, is where Shaky will be. Okay, I got it now.
There you go.
I used to say, people would raise their hands or something like that, raise their arms up like this. I'd go, thank God the war is over. Or I'd tell them, hey, put your arms down. War's been over for years.
But yeah, I mean, I can't help. It doesn't matter where I'm at. I've got something just slips out of my mouth without me knowing. Sometimes it even surprises me because I'm like, where'd that just come from? And Glenn and April, bless their hearts, they're always laughing at me because they're like, They have to shake their head going, are you serious?
You know, the way I grew up around people who, if they weren't being ugly, when they were kind to one another, and it's called ranking. One says something cute, and the other one comes back with a real smart
remark.
Yeah, and it's all funny, and they rank one another back and forth. Sometimes they do it for 2 or 3 hours, and you wonder when they're going to stop because your side hurts from laughing so hard.
I know.
I had a friend come up here to visit me one time. It was right after I left my ex. And I mean, I loved the man. Don't get me wrong. I loved him. And I tried to get him off the alcohol. I've done my best to get him on that right road. And so, I was still crushed. And she came up here, and I was sitting in there on the commode. And she leaned up against the door jamb, and she goes, Red, you can't cry when you're on the toilet. Without thinking, I looked up at her and I went, it's my potty, and I'll cry if I want to.
I love that one. Oh, I gotta remember that one. Love it.
It's easy to remember it, Sylvia. Remember the song?
Yeah, it's my party, and I cry if I want to. Yep.
I turned it around. It's my potty, and I cry if I want to. I thought she was going to fall on the floor laughing at me.
I would have. We have so much fun up here.
I feel comfortable around y'all. I really do. I wish I could meet y'all, but maybe one day.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Maybe out. The only thing is when I'm sitting in my bed, and with my legs crossed like this, my knees buckle up on me, and the last time I was with y'all, I stayed up really on Lazy Acres, and we stayed up so late. My knees buckled so bad, and I was hurting really bad. I had to take some painkillers. So I'm like, man,
Yeah. If you see me moving a lot, it's because my back hurts real bad.
I know.
This is a wooden glider. It's made out of cypress wood. And it's really comfortable, but still my butt hurts. And then my back, it still hurts. If you see me moving a lot, it's because of my back.
Oh, trust me. I understand exactly what it feels like to have a sore hiney.
I think we do. I'm going to see if I can show you what I sit on.
It's my butt, and I'll poop if I want to.
I'm going to turn it around.
I'd hope so, because I ain't going to go in there for you.
Can you see it?
Yep, I see it.
What am I looking at?
The wheelchair.
Back of a wheelchair.
Oh, yeah.
I got one. It was given to me by one of the preachers at church. It's a wheelchair that weighs about 10 pounds, maybe less. It's made of titanium.
Now, Pepper, can you walk at all, or
yes, I can, but
you can walk a little bit. Okay, I was just wondering. I didn't know if because I know when some people it's really hard for them to walk, they'd rather be in the wheelchair, and I just didn't know if that was something you had to be in, or if you could walk some.
Guess what that is?
That's your wheelchair. Your butt broke.
Yeah, we have a wheelchair in the hallways for Francis. But I love sitting in it and rolling down the hallway and popping wheelies in it and stuff. And Francis gets on to me, will you get out of my wheelchair? You're going to tear it up. I'm like, not this thing. It's so thick and heavy.
They will only replace my wheelchair every 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we got this one from
Do you need
Council
one?
on Aging.
Red?
Well, this one's holding up for right now.
Because I went past the thrift shop the other day, and I thought they had a couple down. I have to look and see what they got. Maybe I can pick you up one
they
for
have
nothing.
a footrest.
Yeah, I picked you up one real cheap.
This woman here, I refuse to use the footrest.
I refuse to use the footrest. No.
They are not on my chair.
Well, you use your feet to get around instead of your hands, right?
Yeah, I have to. It's painful, but I still have to because I mean, my feet work better to turn this chair around than my hands do.
Gotcha. Yeah.
No, my problem with having footrest is I forget they're there and I run into everything. No wonder they
No,
call
so
me.
do I, but I do not like my knees up around my chin. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
No, me either.
Preston has to have it. He can't hold his legs up for me to push him. You know.
You do know what red actually stands for, right?
No.
Radina.
Regina? Not what?
Well, that's my name, but it stands for roller extremely dangerous.
I did
And
not
look,
know that.
when I come down to visit Red, y'all gonna see a video of me on their lawnmower and with a rope going back, and she's gonna be behind in a wheelchair going around the yard like she's skiing.
You know what? I'm going to tell you something funny. I have a motorized scooter that when I would go shopping, with my power chair,
Yeah.
I would fix my wheelchair, my manual wheelchair. I'd put the dog leashes around the part that goes from the armrest down to the chair. I'd put the leashes one on each side. I'd hook that up to the back end of my chair, and I'd be going down the road. I'd look like a little train.
Yeah, I tell you what.
It was fun.
15 years ago, 10 years, 10, let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years ago, I was told that I was going to be in a wheelchair in 5 years.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I have trouble walking sometimes, and I still hurt. And I used to use the little electric scooters at the store. Every time I went to the store, I went straight to the electric scooter. But with the gastric bypass and me and losing 190 pounds,
Which
I don't use it anymore. I walk. I get to Walmart I walk. I haven't been in one in 2 years or a year, at least over a year now. I think I hurt my knee and had to get one, but I have not been in one in over a year. I know for a fact it's been over a year. And I
wish
walk
I could do
everywhere I go. And I'm telling you, I am so happy. Thank you, Lord, for giving me that blessing.
You know what I like about my wheelchair? Well,
Judy, real quick, Judy, Rusty is Pepper's dog. This is Miss Pepper. Rusty is her dog.
Right.
I was just wanted Judy to know that that's the name of her channel is her dog and her name, but Rusty is her dog and that's Pepper.
I started that channel so I could have some Christian memories of me and my dog, and things from the Bible that I share with my dog. My dog, ever since I've had him for 10 years.
Good night, Larry.
Night, Larry.
Good night, Larry.
Good night, Larry. God bless you. Sweet dreams.
Let the bed bugs bite.
No. When Jesus is there and you're having sweet dreams, there's no such thing as bed bugs.
Gotcha.
No, what I like is sometimes Travis will pull me through Walmart or wherever we're at, and I'll hook my finger around his belt loop. Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, Travis has got some long legs. So when he walks, he tends to walk fast.
Your arm is way up here.
Well, no. I mean, it's not way up there, but it's where I can grab him. And he'll go through. And sometimes he'll go around the corner. And he'll, because of the way he walks, he'll sling me way out in the aisle. I'm like, wee!
I used to do that with my power chair and manual because it was hooked up, and I didn't really have it hooked up loose. I had it, tight enough where my chair could not come loose from my power chair. It almost did once. I learned a very quick lesson.
Travis doesn't like to take me shopping, and it's not because he doesn't like to take me. It's because he knows I won't behave.
It's because you don't know how to act. We seen the video you in Lowe's. You don't know how to act.
Apparently, you did not see my video in Walmart.
No, what happened?
Well,
Well,
it was before Christmas, and I will tell you the title of the video so you can go check it out. It's called "Turning Purple" in Walmart.
There we go.
It's called what now?
Turning Purple in Walmart.
Okay.
When I'm not teaching about Jesus up and down the aisles, this is another way I am when you see that video.
I got to check up on Francis. I'm hearing a beep go off. I'll be right back.
All right. Oh no, Shaky got cold again.
I'm trying to find a picture here. This is another reason why Travis won't take me to Walmart. I don't behave. I really don't. I mean, I play Marco Polo through Walmart. I play bingo through Walmart. You know, and I'll holler, bingo! And he's like, Mom, I'm going to walk the other way if you don't stop.
you know what I do? I go to the store. I get right up the middle of the aisle and I cut one loose, and then I go to the end of the aisle and just act like I'm shopping for something and watch people walk through that fog.
Shaky. That's just me.
Oh my!
You all right, Pepper?
My
My son used to do that.
Okay, here you go.
Oh, jeez. She's not a window licker. She's a candy cane licker. And that's a pole.
Yeah.
That's
Every year I try to get a picture of that, or I'm gonna go see. Well, one time Walmart had Santa in there. We were in there, and he was standing by the door, and it was kind of late at night, probably about 7 or 8. And I saw him, and I went, Santa, and it echoed through the store. I was like, oops. Well, everyone in the store turned around and looked at me, and I went, well, I made an idiot out of myself. I might as well just go through with it. So I go up to Santa, and I went, hi, Santa. He goes, well, hi. He said, have you been a good girl this year? And I went, nope.
What did he say?
He started laughing. I mean, it's not too many people who go, nope. And he started laughing. I went, what? I ain't going to lie to Santa Claus. My son's over there in the produce going, and Travis over there in the produce going, I don't know her. I do not know her.
You know what? If it was me, I wouldn't just go up to him and say, and say hi, Santa, and everything. While I'm saying hi, Santa, I'm going to mosey over and sit in his lap.
I've actually had the Easter Bunny sit in my lap before.
And then we'll start telling him what I want for Christmas. And while I'm telling him what I want for Christmas, he says, have you been a good girl? And I said, not really. But I'm happy Jesus loves me anyway.
One time I went to see Santa Claus and he was drunk.
A drunk Santa Claus?
You know what? Let me tell you something about the Walmart Santas that are there. Half of them are drunk. Those are the ones you can smell.
There was one Santa Claus that asked me have I been a good girl for the year? And I told him, you ought to know. You have the list of who's naughty and who's good or naughty. I told him that. You should know. You're Santa. You have the list of who's good or bad.
I looked at him. I mean, you could tell he was drunk.
Donnie, are you still on here? I wonder if Donnie's still in the chat. I got a question to ask him. He's in the chat.
Red the elf.
Red the elf.
But I looked at him and I went, I know you're drunk. He's kind of, I went, that's okay. I'm stoned, so I don't care. And he just looked at me like, what? Yeah, that's when I was on pain pills to deal with my diverticulitis.
Oh, don't mention that.
I was on Dilaudid for the pain.
They won't give me anything for pain.
Honey,
Can I
one
ask
night,
you what that is? I don't. I really don't
It's-
know what diverticulitis is.
Oh,
it's
it's
inflammation of the colon.
Oh, okay. I know what that is now. Okay, I got you.
One night before, I didn't know it at the time, but one night before, they figured out that I had chronic fissures, which is a tearing of the colon. Trust me, it is a big pain in the butt. But one night I was in so much pain, I took 2 Dilaudid, took 2 hydrocodones. I smoked a bowl and was begging for alcohol, and I don't drink.
Wow. You know, Francis' colon in one spot. Francis has a hernia in one of his colons, and the doctors say they cannot fix it because his skin is too thin. From his colonoscopy surgery that he had years back, I think they cut too much. You know, when they took out a big polyp and it wasn't cancerous, now he has a colon there in a hernia in his colon, and they cannot do surgery with it. So he's having to wear a belly brace now to hold it in place.
Well, the night that happened, I had to have an ambulance come get me. They got me to the hospital. They brought me in there. They put liquid Dilaudid and IV in me.
uh-huh. What you got there?
My
Now, mind you-
cigarette. I roll my own
Judy,
cigarette.
I do too.
It's a lot cheaper.
But I was in there for 6 hours.
Wow.
And
You're right, Judy.
they went to release me.
to respond to the comment. Yeah. So they release you?
Well, I waited for 2 hours for the medical taxi cab to come get me. They never showed up. By the end of that 2 hours, I was back in the ER because what they had already gave me was wearing off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Judy, to respond to this real quick, this is me personal, and everybody's different, and I'm not criticizing how you feel. Trust me, I respect you 100%, and I agree with you. But for me, I don't have a problem with Santa Claus per se, as far as being in Christmas or whatever. My issue is the kids knowing the true meaning of Christmas and understanding why we celebrate Christmas. I don't have the issue. I don't have an issue with the Santa Claus thing as long as the parents teach them the true meaning of Christmas and what it really stands for. You know, that's why I've never had a problem with the Easter Bunny. I've never had a problem with any of that. You know, that's fine. It's fun when you're a kid and all, but I do believe that the kids need to be taught that that's for fun, but this is why we really celebrate this holiday, and that's my issue with that.
You know what I
I
used
don't
to tell
celebrate
my
it.
kids? You know what I used to tell my kids?
What?
Because I did not believe in Santa or the Easter Bunny, but because of their classmates, they learned all about them. And so what I did was I used to tell them, well, Santa brings presents. Santa was the first one to bring presents to Jesus after the wise men. And he's brought presents every year to each child.
Uh-oh.
to let them know how much Jesus loves them.
There you go. Yeah.
And then the Easter Bunny time would come around. And they keep saying, we hope he brings us this, we hope he brings us that. As a first of all, he's not the one that is the reason for you getting stuff like that. Yes, you have an Easter egg hunt. You know, Jesus had Easter egg hunts.
Well, the way I look at it, Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, and all that, that is more of like a kid believing in, I don't know, the princesses off Disney, you know. It's just something that they can use their imagination, which helps them grow. As long as they know what the holidays actually represent.
Pepper, have I ever told you my Easter story from Sunday school?
No, but I'm pretty sure you're getting ready to.
Yeah, why not? We had a little boy in our class, and I'm going back to like when I was like real low, like 7, 8 years old. We had a little boy in our class who was very handicapped and very sickly. And he was in a wheelchair. Anyway, the teacher gave us those little plastic eggs that come apart and said, take the eggs out and go out in the churchyard, because we had the graveyard, then we had had a section there that had the playground equipment and all that on there. She says, go out there, find out something that means Easter to you and bring it back. Put it in the egg and bring it back. So we all went out there, and when we came back, there was 10 kids in the class. You know, like one little girl, she opened up the egg and a butterfly came out. She says, it's about spring and the butterflies. Another little kid opened up and a flower fell out, and it was like flowers, you know, and everybody, well, when they got to that little boy that was real sickly and ill, he opened his egg and it was empty. And the teacher said, why, what happened? Nobody would help you get what you needed or would help you out there? Or, you know, he said, no, ma'am. He said the tomb was empty.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
2 days later, he died.
Oh
man.
At his viewing, all 9 of us from the Sunday school class came to his viewing. And on the top of the casket was the spray of flowers. We took up 9 empty eggs to show the empty tomb that Jesus died and rose for him.
Wow.
He knew.
That is a young man with a lot of understanding.
Yes.
You know, so yeah, for his viewing, we took up 9 empty eggs to show that Jesus died for him and the tomb was empty. But he's, you know, being at 8 years old or whatever, you know, he knew. He said the tomb was empty. My egg is empty.
He knew. He was on his way home.
That's a great illustration.
That's a story I tell every Easter that I will never forget in my whole life. I won't forget it.
Because
that just hits you right in the gut.
Yeah. The boy knew. Without telling anybody, he knew.
Never forget that story as long as I live.
Well, y'all know I don't celebrate those holidays. I celebrate.
Well, I said everybody's different.
Yeah.
And I don't have any disrespect for anybody that doesn't, or how they, you know, we can all celebrate our holidays as we wish. That's totally up to us in our own houses. And
I don't look down.
God gave us that right.
That's right.
You know, like on Mother's Day, you know, on Mother's Day, you know, kids will bring their mothers like chocolate or flowers or, you know, stuff like that. I hate that stuff. I hate it. To me, it's a waste of money. 1, I don't like chocolate. And 2, why are you going to cut beautiful flowers only for a week from now for them to be dead? I told my boys, you want to get me something for Mother's Day? You get me a plant that we can eat off of. You get me a flower that we can use for medicinal purposes.
Right.
You know, you get me something that I can put out in our garden.
Useful.
That will feed us for the year. Don't buy me. I don't wear jewelry. Yeah. I don't wear bracelets. I don't wear earrings. I don't wear rings.
Why waste it? Why waste the money? If you're going to spend the money, spend it on something that's going to be useful to you and that you're going to use over and over and over.
Exactly. And the way I see it, I'm lucky I got the 2 boys that I do.
Yep.
You know, they are good boys.
They're
To
great
me,
men.
Every day waking up in the morning, knowing that those 2 are mine, that is my everyday Mother's Day gift.
And Red, I know that your boys will always be your boys, but those are 2 great men. In my eyes, they're men, and they're great, awesome men.
They
You've done
are,
awesome with them.
I can't
Shaky,
help it. They're my
I'm not
boys.
going to insult you or anything,
You
but
can't insult me.
to me, how old are you?
Too young to know and old enough to know better.
No, honestly,
I'll be 50. I'll be 50 in a few months.
my son would have been 2 years older than you. So yes, sir. To me, you're still a boy.
Sure. Yeah. You know, and my wife's eyes, my son is 23. He's a man, but that's her baby. He's the youngest, and that's her baby. And it's going to be that. They're always going to be their babies, no matter how old they are.
Yeah.
So
Travis will always be my baby.
sure.
Can you imagine a child of 18 and 19 being the peacemaker in his house?
wow. Yeah.
Yeah. My nephew. He's a peacemaker between my brother and his wife.
My son, when he saw his dad beating on his mom, or when his sisters would fight, he would stop the fight. My ex-husband wouldn't hit me whenever my son said, "You're hurting mommy." It's like something snapped in my ex-husband to stop. I think what snapped was the fact that his child saw his favorite son, his only son.
You know what stopped my mom and dad from fighting? One day my dad told us, he goes, I gotta go out. Didn't tell us where he's going. I gotta go out. When he came back, I was over in the kitchen. I was washing dishes. He told me that he just went up to the church and got saved again. And then he apologized to me for all that he had put me through. Yeah, my dad got resaved.
God is awesome.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be such a downer.
No, you're fine.
No,
That's
Red.
awesome.
You're fine, Red.
It
good
just shows
story.
people there's hope in this world.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
And it shows through God anything is possible.
well, we're saved once. We really are. But when we go back up, if we've had our hearts on fire for Jesus, or we believe deep-heartedly, there's a time when we dedicate ourselves to God. And that's like a first salvation. I mean, just move over, watch out. Here comes the Holy Spirit.
What I'm
Amen.
concerned is my mom. I'm really scared that my mom's going to go to hell. I really am.
Don't even, wait a minute. I know you're scared. Don't bring it up. Pray for her. Be like the daughter who's really grandma.
Rusty, she's been kicked out of 3 churches.
You know what? You know what though? Just like what I said last night in my what you call sermon, my message, whatever. Just like what Rusty had said on my live, and we agreed on 100%. God doesn't send us to hell; we send ourselves to hell. It's our choice. It's our decisions. It's our actions. We do it to ourselves. He doesn't do it to us.
Yeah, but it's embarrassing. My dad was a deacon.
Yeah, well,
and the church came up to them, and because my mother literally tried to take over the church, tell them what they were to do, they asked them in front of everyone not to come back. My dad was a deacon at this church.
Wow.
That part does not reflect on you. It doesn't even reflect on him.
You're not responsible for their actions.
He wasn't responsible for the way she acted.
Right.
You know, all you have to do is you got to be the daughter who's like the grandma and pray. Grandmas are noted for what?
Getting run over by reindeers.
I remember that.
You don't get that video.
I remember that song.
I'm sorry, Pepper. I had to make a joke. You know what? We gotta lighten it up.
Did you see my video?
I don't think so. I
to
watch
see
a
it.
lot of your lives. I just.
You need to see it. Yeah, look for the one turning purple in Walmart.
I like to bring comic relief to everything, especially when it gets serious. You got to have fun too. You got to laugh. You know.
Yeah.
You got to laugh some.
Grandmas are always the ones that in the past that have prayed the people into heaven.
Yeah, you're right.
You got to be the daughter who's like the grandma. You got to pull yourself back from the situation and don't try. The more you say something to her about it, the worse she's going to get at her age, because she's older than you. She'll tell you, I'm your elder.
And they're set in their ways.
Oh boy. I'm 71.
kidding.
No. She loves you, but I know you love her more. And since you love her more, be that grandma that she needs right now. Pray her straight this way. I know you can do it. It's got to be done through prayer. We can't talk them into it.
There is power in prayer, that's for sure.
Oh boy, let's kick some butt.
But what gets me is she says that she's I am a born again Christian. I know better than you do.
Stop there. You know she doesn't. You know she doesn't. That's when you turn around and start praying as you walk away. Because that's the only thing that's going to help her.
Or in my case, roll away.
Well, yeah.
Sorry.
Yes, Judy. Red said she was kicked out of church.
3 of them.
But it doesn't matter how she is. What matters is where her heart is. You pray her. You pray her this way. Jesus has got a hold of that. God ain't going to let her go either.
I worry about her.
Pray.
You know, it's funny. I went from hating her to being worried about her. You know, it's
Red.
I know where you're coming from, Red.
Yeah, I do too. Red, you know, the one thing that definitely, for real, is going to help her is you pray for the Holy Spirit to hit her. Honey, she won't stop then.
Judy, they did take her to his side and try to talk to her. But I did say she was narcissistic, so.
Yep. I know what you're dealing with, that's for sure.
Yep.
Narcissists don't believe they do anything wrong.
You can't convince them in either eyes.
No, you can't. That's one mental illness you cannot cure whatsoever. You can't help those people.
No.
I'm trying to find something here.
Don't look too hard to give yourself a headache.
I know.
Oh, my.
I'm sorry. I guess it's one of them nights
No, Red, you're fine.
Hey, you still laugh. You still crack a joke.
That's right.
Yeah, but I have a tendency to let the silliness come out and hold all the other stuff inside.
Well, you know what, Red? Guess what? there's sometimes that we need to, and we're around friends. This is just between us, and sometimes we need to talk it out. And I think you're
I hate to
okay.
tell you this, but it ain't just between us.
I hate to tell y'all, but I think by now we're family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just on the internet.
Okay. As family, I'm going to tell you a story about myself.
I'm listening. I got
Sylvia, you may want to go to the bathroom before I do.
I think she did.
No, I didn't. I was just saying if Francis was he's been throwing up lately, and I thought he might be in the bathroom. He's not.
Okay, you guys know that I like cutting jokes. I like joking around, you know.
Yep.
Well, I've actually posted this on Facebook before. But one time I had to go to the doctor. Now, mind you, at this time I was terrified of needles. I've gotten over my fear. It took me about 40 years to do it, but I got over my fear. Well, I'm sitting there in the doctor's office, sitting in a chair, and I am bored out of my mind. So I decided, how am I going to entertain myself? I'm sitting here in a chair. There's nothing around me. I ain't got a phone or nothing to play on. And I look up, and there's that light that they bring down to look into your mouth. I went, well, So I grabbed a hold of it, and I pulled it down. And I put it up to my face, and I was going, boom, 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 boom. I was using the light as a musical instrument.
Hey, Red, I found what I'm looking for. I found what I'm looking for. In regards to your what you were talking about with your mother, 1 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 2. If anyone imagines that he knows something, he does not yet know as he ought to know. You see what I'm saying? If they just because they think they know, they don't know. They may pretend like they know or seem like they know or put on like they know, but they don't know.
There you go. Yeah.
And that, that's.
Yep.
But anyways,
That's
like
when you play.
I started using this light as a musical instrument.
I bet that was funny as heck.
And then I started pretending like it was a camera. Click, 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 click. And then it became a microphone. Where I was going, hello, into the light. What I did not realize is the dentist was in a hallway watching me.
Oh no.
All this time. Well, the dental assistant, while she was actually learning to become a dentist, comes in. And she goes, all right, and I'm going to have to give you a shot in your mouth. And I was like, oh, God, needle, needle, needle.
I hated those too.
Well, she gave me the shot. And I'm like, after she gave it to me, I went, that was actually not that bad. She goes, really? I went, yeah. I said, it didn't hurt at all. She goes, I was scared to death that you was going to get up and run out of here. I looked at her and smiled, and I went, that would have been a miracle since I'm in that wheelchair. She goes, I forgot you were in a wheelchair. I'm sorry.
Y'all see this?
Yes.
Aww.
But look right here. Where he moved the wrong way. See if I can see the heart.
It's a heart.
Oh wow, it is a heart. Oh, it's a heart.
Oh man, we were in Walmart one day, and I was waiting in one of I think it's the fabric department. Man, I was waiting and waiting. I got tired of waiting. Well, they had one of them little phones there on the pole. Well, you better believe they should have never put directions on how to use that intercom. Can I get some help in the fabric department now? Man, I've had 4 or 5 people come from all different directions.
really do that?
Oh yeah. Sir, you're not allowed to use the intercom. Well, then I suggest you get somebody here faster next time.
Oh,
You know what I
did
used to
one
do?
time.
You know
Go
what I
ahead,
used,
Rusty.
huh?
Go ahead.
You know what I used to do with those silly phones on the poles? I would say, we have somebody's lost child over in what did they call them now? I forgot. I had it in my mind. Where they try on clothes, the dressing rooms.
Yeah.
We have someone's lost child over in the dressing rooms. Can the parent please come and get him?
See,
And
I used
and
I
they'd get over there and they'd say, "Where's the child?" And there weren't any children missing from the parents, but the people that were in charge wanted to go, no, where's the child? And the person at the dressing room would say, "I don't know what you're talking about." "Oh, didn't you just call about a missing child over here in your dressing rooms?" And they said, "No."
I used to work at Walmart. Yeah.
Oh,
And one year they thought it was going to be a great idea for everyone to dress up as something in their department. My
Reminded me when
my department was HBA, Home and Beauty Accessories. And I also worked over in the pharmacy area too, because that was part of it. And so they're sitting there and they're talking about how, you can do this and you can do that. And I'm sitting back and just got this smile on my face. And my two friends sitting beside me went, "Oh, dear God, what is she going to do?"
Oh my.
And the manager heard him say that and he looked over at me. He goes, "Everyone except for you." I was like, "What?" He goes, "I know you. Everyone can dress up except for you." "Well, that's just not right." He goes, "Yeah, but we also know you." Well,
I'll tell you
they
another
know.
way. I'll tell you another way to get help at Walmart if they wouldn't come when you ask them to. You pick up that phone in Walmart, you hit that intercom, and attention Kmart shoppers, there's a blue light special in.
No way.
He's frozen for a minute. Yeah.
The section you're in.
Yeah.
You know what? It would have been really bad if you had picked it up and said, "Attentions, ladies and gentlemen, there was a red light special in the women's clothing."
In women's lingerie.
And you'll see all the buggies just racing down to get there too. I used to wear a whistle around my neck. And there's the store that I always go in, I know the ladies there, and they're always in the back jabbering or stocking up. And when I'm at the register, I blow that whistle. And they told me, "You need to stop." I said, "Well, y'all ain't up here. I need to check out." I'm going to blow that whistle.
Well, when I was working there was a guy that came in. Now, he worked on the road pouring asphalt. Those guys get tan. Those guys get buff. This guy was good looking. I mean, he was buff and dark, and he couldn't find someone to help him over in the men's clothing. And he saw me over there and cosmetics. And he comes over. He goes, "Would you help me, please?" I went, "Sure. What you need?" He goes, "Well, I need a woman's perspective. I need to try on some shirts." "I'll help you." So we go over there, and he's trying one shirt, and he goes, "What do you think?" And if I didn't like it, I go, "Yeah." If I liked it, I go, "Oh, yeah." And one of the customer service managers, the manager of the store came up, Gary Kitts. He looked over, he goes, "What is she doing?" She smiled. She goes, "It looks like she's helping a customer to me." Yeah, he's just over there stripping his shirt off, and I'm like,
Oh wow.
I had a lot of fun at that at Walmart. I mean, me and the store manager actually had a very loud, very okay, we cussed each other out in his office.
Ooh.
He cussed me, I cussed him. And when the argument was over with, I went to leave. He goes, "Where you going?" First of all, I'm gonna go in there and get me a cola to drink, and I'm gonna have a cigarette. Unless you want an irate employee out on the floors. He goes, "No, go ahead, go ahead." I'm like, "Oh, not so." I went into the lunchroom, and a friend of mine was sitting there, and he goes, "We heard everything."
Oh.
It was that loud. He goes, "Did he fire you?" I went, "No." "He didn't?" "No." "Okay." Oh, when I went, I had to actually leave work. I put in my 2 weeks notice because Travis had to have surgery, and I needed to be there for him. When I went to bring my 2 weeks notice in, he marked me as rehireable.
Good.
And this is a guy that I cussed out just a couple of months before that.
Wow.
Now,
And I asked one of the managers, I looked at it and I went, "Mark me as rehireable." They said, "You know why?" And I went, "Why?" And they said, "Because you're the only one that's ever stood up to me."
Wow.
So he respected the fact that I must have his crap.
Judy, are you rolling on the floor?
you want to hear how I got kicked out of a Walmart one time?
Oh.
When I was a teenager, I got on
What was it that you got kicked out of?
a Walmart.
Oh.
I grabbed grabbed that intercom, and I said, "Attention, ladies and gentlemen. There have been 3 coupons hidden in the electronics department. The first 3 people to find them get a free TV."
Oh no.
Oh.
They tore the electronics department apart looking for those coupons.
You are bold. I would never do this.
See, I'm surprised I haven't been kicked out of Walmart by playing golf in the toy department.
No.
Oh, that is so fun. You get a pool noodle and you get one of them beach balls and you smack it with the pool noodle and holler, "Far!" as it goes out in the middle of the store.
Somebody's barking.
That's
Greg got the dogs
killer.
barking.
It's all right. I didn't holler. Oh, well, I did holler, but I didn't holler for you.
Okay.
I'm not have enough courage to do
What kind of dog is that?
He is a Beagle foxhound.
Oh.
He sounds like he's huge.
Yeah.
He's good size. He's the size of a foxhound, but has the Beagle colorings.
Shaky,
He's
you got
probably-
courage because I don't have enough guts to do something like that at Walmart.
Oh, I've done some messed up things like that.
They took those intercoms away, and you know, actually, before they took them away, they put them up where I couldn't reach them.
Well, you know why they took them away, don't you?
Yeah, because of people like me and Shaky.
Because I was going to say because of Shaky.
No, I was one of them too.
True.
You know,
See, I never did that. I mean, like I said, I played golf in the toy department.
I did that too.
Or drag race with the other customers that was in a wheelchair. God, they used to come in just to do that sometimes.
You remember when they didn't have those carts? We had to roll around in our own wheelchairs or the store's wheelchairs because they had those baskets in front.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I still went around them corners like I was on two wheels.
When I was in the fire department, I went to the scene of an accident on the fire truck, and dispatch calls and says, "What county is the accident in?" Well, I said, "Well, to be honest, it started in this county and ended in that county because it was on a county line."
Oh, wow.
I don't know what to tell you. I guess it's in both counties because it's kind of in the middle right now.
What's the best message you've ever left on your voicemail when someone calls you and you can't answer it?
What now?
What's the best message you've ever left on your voicemail when someone calls you?
I used to leave the thing. I used to go, "Hello, hello."
Oh, God, that drives me nuts. That's all.
Hello. And then I say, "Ha ha ha! I ain't here. You've been talking to an answer machine or to the voicemail." And man, the messages I get left for that. Oh man, it used to make some people mad. I've been talking to your voicemail for 10 minutes thinking that you can't hear me.
Mine is straight and to the point. Hello. Leave your message and your phone number, and I'll contact you. If I don't contact you, it means I don't want to talk to you to begin with.
Oh, and the second one I used to leave was
mine is on right now.
The second one I used to do was, "Hey, county morgue, you stab them, we slab them."
I feel like my daddy. My daddy does that a lot when he answers the phone. I know.
Or it would be, "You whack them, we stack them."
That's it too.
You rape them, we scrape them.
But I used to have a T-shirt. I used to have a T-shirt. A buddy of mine worked for DC Police Department in the homicide division. I swear they had a T-shirt. I actually got one. I wish I still had it. It had a picture of the Grim Reaper on it. It says, "Our day begins where your day ends, DC homicide."
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Here's what I use.
Glory.
Here's what I used.
One of my favorite ways to answer a phone.
What?
Actually, was I left a message. When somebody would call me, one of my favorite ways were, "Before you speak, is your refrigerator running?"
That's an old one. That's an old one, Rusty Pepper.
Not for an answering message.
So why did you, Sylvie? Why did you ask this question?
Because I just wanted to know. Because
I thought you were up to something.
No.
Yes.
Here's what I used to leave on mine. If you've reached this answering machine in the wee hours of the night, don't hurt its feelings by hanging up the phone. Just leave your message at the end of its tone.
I got a message from my mom one time. I told you what my message says on my phone. Well, she left a message. "Red, if you don't return my phone call, I'm going to come up there or come down there, and I'm going to kick your butt blue. Call me." Okay.
I'll never forget. I was working for my friend Buddy. He owned a couple tractor trailers and a couple dump trucks, and I worked for him off and on for a long time. Great guy. He rest his soul. He's gone. Cancer got him. But we were out there working. I was helping him work on the truck one time on Peterbilt, and we were sitting there talking. We took a break. We'd been busting our butts on this truck, We were taking a break, and his wife come out and says, "If you don't get to working on that truck, I'm gonna beat you with this baseball bat." He looked right at his wife and said, "If you beat me with the baseball bat, I ain't gonna get much done, am I?"
He's got a very valid point there.
Exactly.
Honey, do this. Honey, do this.
No, I was not the class clown.
I was.
I wasn't. I was quiet. We had a class clown, and believe it or not, his real name was Charlie Brown.
Oh, Charlie Brown.
I know.
He's a clown. Why is everybody always picking on me?
Yep.
Well, what do you know, Red? We're even twins as far as being a class clown.
Yeah, they used to call me TNT because I also had a temper. And they never knew when it was going to go off, and when it did, it was not very nice.
I can imagine.
TNT Dynamite.
Okay. This is
TNT
the dog that
out of
was
sight.
barking. That's the dog that was barking earlier.
He's pretty.
It's not a little one.
He's pretty.
Yes, beautiful.
I love his
He's-
markings.
He's a good boy. He really is a good boy. And if you look, this is his brother.
They
Oh,
look alike.
they look alike. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They came from the same litter.
Oh.
Well, yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'll tell you what, the high school I went to was a tough school. I mean, it had some mean kids in it. The science teacher said talked about how gravity works. It proved the law of gravity. One of the kids threw him out the second story window.
Okay.
West Virginia, Buckeye girl. That's where Safety lives. West Virginia.
That's my baby.
I do
Oh,
now. I'm not
pretty.
from West Virginia, but that's where I've lived for the last 8 years.
That is my baby. Believe it or not, he's 16 years old.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I live in the state of confusion.
Yeah, I grew up in West Virginia.
That
So-
explains a lot.
I grew up in Louisiana.
That
This is
explains a
my
lot too.
Yeah, it's grew up in a itty bitty little coal town called Coal City.
Montana, where the men are men and the sheep are nervous. West Virginia, where the men are men and the sheep are used to it.
Now you choking up, Miss Pepper.
I used to tell a buddy of mine, this is when I lived in Maryland, he lived in West Virginia. I said, let me guess, every time you go home, all the little sheep and goats jump up on the fence, go, Daddy.
Shaky, cut it out.
You know, I've heard it. Well, did I hear that from Pastor Donnie? I'm not sure, but there was a group of people that had sheep, and they all got these guys got saved in the church, and you know the sheep always called them because the guys were always cussing at them. So now they're calling them and without cussing, and the sheep won't listen.
Oh, wow.
I'm trying to remember. There was a joke about, I shouldn't even tell this. I swear I should. God forgive me. There was a joke about some Catholic schoolgirls, and I think one of them said a cuss word or something. Anyway, the priest said, you need to wash your mouth out in that basin of holy water, and so she rinsed her mouth out and or whatever it was. Anyway, one of the girls ran up there and did it. And it was about sinning, and the priest says, how come you're so quick to run up here and wash your mouth out? She said, because I'm putting that water in my mouth before she puts her butt in that water. It had something to do with the sinning, and I was like, oh man.
Oh
It
my!
was funny. It was a funny. I wish I could remember that joke. It was funny.
Yeah, that is funny.
Did I ever tell you about the fish funeral I had?
Yep. But go ahead and do it again.
No, I haven't heard it.
Neither have I.
Come on, Ed.
Okay. Travis is like 4 or 5 years old, and you know how our parents always get a goldfish for their children as their very first pet. Well, goldfish don't last that long, but honestly don't. Well, this was one of them black-eyed goldfish. You know, they got the punched-out eyes. Anyways, Travis named it Fisher.
Fisher.
And he, well, for a 4 or 5 year old kid, that was pretty good. And, well, one day Fisher died. And I was babysitting my youngest niece. And that day we decided to have a fish funeral. So I had them go out in the yard and, the white flowers from clover and all that. I had them each pick a handful of that. And at the time I was walking. So I carried Fisher into the bathroom. And so we're all there by the toilet. And I'm talking about how good Fisher was with fish, swimming. He didn't eat us out of house and home. I mean, there ain't much you can say about a goldfish. But I was reaching. Well, then they decided to, I decided to put Fisher into the toilet. And the kids, Leanne and Travis, sprinkled the little flowers over top of Fisher. And I went ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Fisher died, and now we shall flush.
That's pretty good.
My niece Leanne had to leave the bathroom because she was getting tickled.
I know.
And I was sitting there holding Travis, trying to comfort him because he had just lost his Fisher. But yeah, I actually had a fish funeral instead of eulogy for a goldfish.
I'm gonna try to play this for y'all. All right, you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Now, you may have heard this before, but let me make sure that you can hear.
Be careful, copyright strike.
Can you hear this? Can you hear it?
Yeah.
We hear something.
Hello, Laura. Love, what are you doing there then?
I'm burying my goldfish.
Oh dear, what a shame. Still, it's only a goldfish, I suppose, isn't it? But why are you digging such a big hole, you silly thing?
Because it's inside your cat.
Oh, wow. Jakey, you got to send me that because I got to show the boys that. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that. Oh, wow.
I'm glad I already made that trip.
Oh,
By
Lord.
the way, Shaky, I got you to thank for helping me get to that trip. That was the first time in years I made it that way.
I was not expecting that.
I
I was not expecting that.
I wasn't either.
Why
She told him.
seen that? I knew it. I've seen it. It's on Facebook.
That's the first time I've ever seen that.
Me too. I have so many people to send that to.
That has been seen.
Is that on YouTube?
Yeah.
It's also on Facebook.
Yeah,
I have seen it in Facebook time and time again, and I crack up just like you did, Sylvia, every single time. And I know what the punchline is.
When Ray got talking about that goldfish funeral, I that popped right dead in my mind.
Matt and Travis will crack up. They will literally crack up.
I hope I'm not being too loud. My neighbors are in bed. They said they haven't heard me.
Our neighbors over there, they're not there right now. They're at Ren Fair.
Sylvia, I sent it to you on Messenger. If you don't want it, just delete it. But if you want it, you got it.
Hey, send it to me.
Yeah, I just got it.
I'm Pepper Mathis in Facebook.
Yeah, our neighbors over there, they're Rennies. They do food trucks at Renaissance fairs and stuff. And the neighbor across the street, which is good.
As good as across the street.
A good 60, 65 yards. She ain't gonna get me.
Pepper.
Yes.
Are you hold on a minute.
I'll watch it later.
Is this yours?
That's mine.
Okay. I sent you a friend request also. You don't have to accept it. I just saw you there, so I'll send it anyway.
It might take forever for me to accept it because I don't go to Facebook very
That's
often.
fine. That's fine. That's fine. If you, like
But
I said,
I will now
but,
because you sent me that.
but I sent it to you on Messenger also.
Okay.
But guys, I need to go because the tiny bold man and I need to.
I got to
some
get up here
pictures.
anyway. I've been on here almost 3 hours. I was only going to go for an hour, and I got to get up early tomorrow morning.
Yeah, and it's midnight here, so I got.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
doing a little dance in my wheelchair.
Well,
But
you just roll on out. You don't have to click out.
Well, I need to get in bed anyways. I've already taken
Thank,
one of the pills.
Thank y'all for hanging out with me tonight. I it's a blessing to have y'all in my life, and I really appreciate it. We have a lot of good times, we have a lot of serious times, we have some sad times, but we're family and we love each other, and that's the best part of the whole thing.
Yeah, but
I didn't mean to be a downer tonight. It's
You're
just
not a downer.
You weren't no downer.
You ain't gone, Debbie down. I'm just kidding. You're fine, Red. You're fine. And I didn't even mess with you tonight.
Yeah, I know.
And that's a miracle.
I know. I ain't used to that.
I sound like Flipper with my laugh. Judy, that's okay. It ain't. I've had people say if they could just put my laugh in a bottle, so they could.
Judy, thank you very much for hanging out with us. Buckeye Girl, if you're still here, thank you very much for hanging out with us. And if anybody else is watching, thank you all very much. I appreciate it. I do love y'all, and it means a lot to have family can hang out with.
Yeah.
Watch your ears.
That's what the banjo.
Somebody buy it around.
That is me alerting the boys. I need to go pee.
Oh. All right. Well, I'm gonna hit this end. I'm gonna hit this end broadcast. I love you guys. Thank y'all so much, and I'll see y'all soon.
All right.
Good night.
Good night, Pepper. Good night, Sylvia. Good night, Red. Love you. See y'all later.
Love you too.
Just
Good
when I come
night.
back. I love y'all.
Love you too. Bye bye.
Good dreams, everybody.